hoping this seems to run better. I see a little bit of a black space at the bottom. I'm gonna try to fix that. God, the cheesiness ensues. So I think it plays the entire intro video again. I'll skip that. And what's interesting is this game doesn't even give you an option like a menu. It just jumps right into the game. Which, like, it jumps at the beginning of the game every time. You have to, like, purposely load your game each time. Let's see, I almost feel like I'm lurking even though I'm here because I'm disassociating so hard today. I don't even know why. It's been a weird day. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Relentless. It's just been like that all day. Well, hopefully, just relaxing, taking a break, get your mind off of things, make you feel a little bit better. Get you back in the game, you know? But I was like that yesterday. I know a big part of it was I was just exhausted. But man, my sleep schedule was jacked up and I just couldn't really do anything. Like I was just lounging around all day. I didn't get a whole lot done. Skipped my workout. Didn't do much of anything. Alright, so let's go to load game. And we've created a few save games. I'm thinking this is where we left off. If it's next to the missile silo, we're in the right one. Yes. Okay, so this crazy guy. We have to be very careful talking to Colonel Buster Monroe, because if you piss him off, he's going to shoot you, and you're going to die. And then he's going to nuke everybody. Let's see, imagine playing a video game in third person, but in real life. Oh, that's an interesting analogy.
Halt! Who goes there?
They tell me my name is Steve.
All right. This is Section 21. Keep your distance, son. I wouldn't want to have to blow your head off.
That makes two of
Wait.
us.
So you're the amnesiac, huh? Just another draft-dodging ploy the way I see it. But at least you're not an alien. You see their ships every now and then. Sometimes Swell bags one in the woods.
Who are you?
Colonel Buster Monroe, commander of the Harvest Nuclear Missile Installation, keeping America safe from those who would dye our flag red, white, and pink.
These are nuclear missiles?
Goddamn right they are.
Why did they say pink?
Every one of them ready to rain death on the Ruskies. All I gotta do is hit the button and blammo! The price of vodka goes through the roof. Along with the vodka.
Not the vodka.
Oh, I suppose you have, you know, safeguards against accidents?
Safeguards? Don't be such a weak sister. There are no safeguards. This is the 50s.
I love that
Then
line.
You have sole control of the, missiles.
Like he knows it's going
That's
to be
right.
more.
Been in charge
safe
here
later.
since WW2, when I got my lower torso shot off in the war. Those pennywaists in Washington wanted to stick me behind a desk. To hell with that. They owed me. I left my legs in Dusseldorf. They owed me.
Now we heard this before,
Of course they
but
felt
it's
it
amazing.
after the trauma of having to crawl from Germany to England trailing my intestines behind me. I was too emotionally unstable to continue in the military. That's why they gave me this nice cushy job and put me in charge of the nuclear missiles.
That is not a cushy job. Okay, yeah, I had a bit of an intro. We heard that before, but it's just great. So, because Pinko, I've heard the term, like, Pinko when you're talking about, like, communists in Russian, but, like, I think of, like, Russian, their flag is, like, red, right? Or at least back then it was, the USSR, wasn't it, like, red with, like, a yellow sickle? I guess I never really understand why you would say pink. I don't know. There's probably some reference I'm missing. So we asked just a few of these questions. We didn't get very far. We have to be very careful what we tell this guy. Let's see, it's a red with hammer, sickle, and star. That's right. Let's see, I love how the cushy job is holding yourself up 24/7 so you don't press a button instead of a desk job. Yeah, imagine trying to hold yourself up. Like, I could do that for maybe 5 minutes, and then everybody's dead. Actually, I do that almost like to stretch sometimes at work, you know, like if anybody guys have like a desk job, be sure you do lots of like stretches and stuff. It's good for you, but that's one thing I do sometimes. It's just kind of like do that a few times, you know, works out your back, your shoulders. Yeah, but this guy has some serious arm strength. I mean, you would, right? Most people in wheelchairs, they actually have really strong arms because, I mean, you're using that all the time. So, flexing on us with this desk jab. Ooh la la. That just means that I have to work extra hard to not, like, put on weight and be super lazy because I just sit all day.
Why are you asking about the button, son?
I'm just a little nervous about it. I mean, suppose an accident happens.
Don't get your panties in a bunch, mister. The button is perfectly safe. I keep it on my person all the time.
Okay, how did that look for you guys?
No commie bastard is getting his mitts on this button. No siree, Bob. No one initiates a nuclear holocaust in Harvest except me. Now, doesn't that make you feel better?
All right, I think when we play old school games, I'm going to try this method instead. It's funny. I don't know if any of you guys have used OBS, the software for streaming a lot of people use, but you can choose to do game capture, but what it's looking for is a program that's running in full screen. Even if I have these games running full screen, it doesn't detect it. It's like such a low resolution, it thinks it's like a prompt or something you would click OK on. So you have to kind of like work your way around it, but I'm glad we got it working nice. Because you don't want to miss, even how brief they are, those videos. They're all terrible, yet hilarious. God, can I talk about everything? I'm kind of scared to type to ask some things, but I kind of want to go through all the options. All right, commie bastard.
Frankly, all these questions are making me a little suspicious of you.
Crap.
Maybe you're one of those pink-blooded Americans. Can you give me any reason why I shouldn't shoot you right
This is what we did last time. Wait, didn't last time I say you can't shoot me? I'm an American. I have rights. We only went through a few, Blaze. I don't think we did everything. I want to say no, not really. I think we did this one.
I appreciate your honesty,
Crap.
comrade.
Okay, I can't even ask that first question in the first place. At least you guys get to see the whole thing. This is ridiculous. I mean, you know you want to see that again. As soon as that happens, Robocadia jumps in. Enjoying the stream? You want to see more legless people shoot guys with an AK-47? And be sure you follow. And we accidentally nuked Russia again. Exactly what you told me not to do, Relentless, on Discord. Dang it. Okay. I'm not even going to go down that, Ryan. Or was it an AK? Sorry, what was it? Some kind of rifle. Let's see, I put one of my favorite videos in the Discord channel, and maybe we could watch it in the end. I gotta be a little wary doing videos, Janie, just because certain things got copyrighted. It either mutes the VOD, or if I upload it to YouTube, I have to try to cut that out, otherwise it gets striked. Let's see, it's some kind of US rifle, not sure the name. Oh, like an M16, that probably makes more sense. So you say keep everyone alive. I failed to keep anyone alive, Ron. That probably killed everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip this because we just did all this.
Colonel, got
Well, then
that when I those that's why.
Okay. So we did a couple of these. I think we maybe asked about nuclear holocaust and maybe lower torso. I'm not sure. Yeah, what's let's see, what is the video about in general? That's usually a big part of if we can show it or not. Definitely not an AK though. Okay, I'm terrible at guns. Which is funny, I've played a lot of first-person shooters, but I haven't really shot very many guns. SmackDown moving to Fox. Oh, it's like a wrestling thing. Okay, that sounds like it might be like a commercial or something, like an announcement.
you say before you came to Harvest your lower torso was shot off in the war?
That's right. I was behind enemy lines. The night was dark. The rain wet. Plastique I was supposed to rig the bridge with.
I think we heard this.
Precariously sandwiched between my knees as I crawled in the muddy mud. I didn't see the Jerry taking aim at me with his machine gun until half of me was flying through the air. With a quick spray of bullets in a straight line, You'd shot my body clean in two. My lower body landed at that Jerry's feet. I can still hear him laughing as I started crawling in the general direction of England.
You can't crawl to England.
Calling behind me in broken English. Mein Freund, where is your legs? Looky, what have we here?
Remember
Some
there's like
legs?
water?
Hey, did anyone lose some legs? I'll never forget looking back over my shoulder.
This is just amazing.
Seeing that crowd doing the can-can with my legs. Till a few weeks later, with only my compass and a pair of nylons, I
Could
made
have
it
crawled
back
on a
to
boat.
safety.
It's a good point.
Now the Krauts are our friends and the commie bastards are our enemies. But even so, there's at least one crowd out there that I'll never invite over to Sunday dinner.
Okay, so we're not going to say commie bastard at all. There we go. That's a good counter. Ethnic slur count 1. There's going to be a lot of those, I think, Blaze. Let's see, the way Twitch mutes VODs if there's a copyrighted material is annoying because it's not just that part. Yeah, it's the whole chunk of the video around the part. And it doesn't just mute the audio for that, it'll mute my voice, it'll mute any sound effects or anything we have going on. It's weird. Oh, that one I can show. And let me see how easy it is to tab out of the game. Allow. There we go. John Cadia used add permitted term commie bastard. So it blocked commie bastard. Apparently me allowing it just made it a permanent rule. You guys can now say commie bastard in the stream. Hi, Jesse. What a big bro. Jesse want to say hi. Hi, guys. You want to play some Harvester, Jesse? You're your cool girl. Thank you, John. I mean, I can't believe we haven't already allowed that. I mean, I assumed we would have used it all the time. That's why I'm Canadian. I only swam across the ocean and they wouldn't let me in. No phages for you, Blaze. And Tajay could say phages. Okay, let's ask him about Harvest.
Harvest is a fine town, steeped in traditional American values. But that lodge, well, it makes me suspicious, don't mind saying it. They've got their fingers into everything around here. Like a certain red commie bastard menace which shall be nameless.
Okay, so, I mean, before I allow this, I've never seen phages used as a derogatory term anywhere. I can't imagine us seeing that. Can we just allow it? Like, is that a thing? Do people go around calling each other phages when they're trying to say something much worse? Because I'm of the mind that I just want to allow it, just so Blaze can feel like a real person that can use language like everyone else. I don't even know what it means. Perfect. Okay, I think we should allow it. Let me go ahead and open that up. There. Try it now, Blaze. Okay. Oh. Maybe I shouldn't tell him that we decided to join the lodge, because he's telling us the lodge is bad. I don't know what it means, but you've inspired me to now use it as an insult, John. Don't say John said to say it. Phages is a real scientific term. It's very nice to be able to say phages. What I didn't understand is, if it was a banned word, why was it only banned for Blaze? How come everybody else could use it? Okay, I'm gonna tell him I don't want to join the lodge.
You read me wrong, mister. I think you should join the lodge, infiltrate it, and report back on any Red sympathizers.
Okay.
The report could affect my decision on what I've got to do.
I said not, Nate. Now, I'm gonna come back and get banned on this channel because there's this new trend to call everybody phages, and everyone's gonna assume it's something really bad, when in reality it's just because we played Biorhythm. Let's see, from now on, son of a phage is gonna be my own curse. Now what, God? How come that one got blocked, Blaze? I thought I just opened up Commie Bastard. Wait, the only difference is the whatchamacallit. I think I have to do things separately for Blaze. You're like in a separate category from everybody else, Blaze. If I allow everybody else to use a word, you can't use it. I have to like open it up a second time just for you. Okay, so I don't want to click Commie Bastard.
Remember, duck and cover.
Because I know what happens when I do that. I'm going to save it again real quick because this is very dangerous. But there's more information we have to get out of him. But I'm like Blaze. Oh, did you get block 2, Pepper?
Halt! Who goes there?
It's just me, Steve.
What do you want? Did the llamas send you?
The llamas. It blocked you too, Pepper. I'm gonna have to go in there and like tone down the sensitivity of that. Because I mean, we're all cool. When we say anything, it's not gonna be derogatory to any of us. We just be saying it for fun, part of the game. Yeah, grammar might matter. That's true. I thought it was like just the whole phrase it was blocking. No, the llamas. They fear me.
That's good. Someone has to keep them in check. I'm glad you stopped by again. I want you to infiltrate those firemen, mister. There's a lot of art going on over there. I want to make sure they haven't turned into commie bastards. You got that? And don't come back unless you've got information for me.
Why doesn't he go? They having trouble getting around? Art is a communist now. I thought I was going to say communist, but that was the Nazis. They like to burn a lot of art.
Remember, duck and cover.
All right, I am off to lurk in the corner. See you later, Tachi. Thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate the lurk, dude. An electrified chain link fence surrounds the base. All right. Or books, that's right. Maybe it wasn't art. I'm scared to report without information. He might just ask about the llamas again.
Halt! Who goes there?
It's just me, Steve.
What do you want? Did the llamas send you?
That's the same thing.
That's good. I remember you. You're the soldier I sent to check on the firemen. Did you find evidence of commie infiltration?
I haven't even seen them. I'm gonna say they're not commies.
Thank God for that. Your next assignment is to infiltrate the lodge before it's too late. Get it at all costs, mister. Oh, God help us all.
But what if they were communists? Then we screwed up.
Remember, duck and cover.
They didn't have an option to say, I don't know yet, let me get back to you. It's just yes or no. Okay, so we haven't checked out very many places. I think the game does have multiple endings. I've only ever played through it once. Did we just complete a side quest by line? That'd be amazing, Blaze. Okay, so we went to the post office, we went to the general store, we went to the barber shop. Okay, so I don't want to go to the lodge just yet. Let's check out the meat plant. Weren't we supposed to have a job there or something? Remember, our character has amnesia. He just woke up in this place. He has no idea who he is. Apparently, we are engaged to a girl that we don't know, and we have a job at this meat plant. See, this game is less unsettling than I expected. It gets worse, Pepper. It straddles a line between really funny and really disturbing, and it keeps jumping back and forth. What is that right there? It looks like there's something moving, but I can't touch it. A red brick building with a horrible stench coming from within. Can't look at anything. I guess we'll just go inside. It's totally going to be human meat processing here. Called it last time, and I'm calling it again. Janie's unsettled, so depends on your demeanor. I don't like that there's an open cat right there. Red brick? Damn commie bastards. I'm going to read what you say, Blaze, because nobody else can see it. I'm sorry, kitty lovers. Pat O'Reilly. Can Can we look at this? Examine the splotch. This used to be a kitty cat. That is the most concerning way you could have phrased that. And now Pepper standing dead. Chat can't see this, but they suck. Commie bastards. That's what Pepper said. That wasn't me. That was Pepper. Okay, now I have to allow these again, because it's not letting them through. There we go. Bam. Oh, the kitty emote. That's sad. Alright, I guess we'll talk to this guy, huh? Oh, the cat's playing with the drippings. That's gross. Examine the meat. Freshly cut meat.
Steve, how's your father? Is he better?
About the same, I guess.
He's been away from work for weeks, and when I call your house, your mother won't let me talk to him.
I haven't seen him either.
This is a fine kettle of fish, I must say. Though I am glad to see you taking an interest in the business in your dad's absence.
Who are you?
Aw, Steve, I didn't want to believe that amnesia hokum. Now you're saying you don't remember your pal Pat O'Reilly?
Oakham? So everyone's eat cats. Maybe? I mean, there's some carcasses back there that are way bigger than a cat. So I'm not sure. The music's getting creepier, huh, Pepper? Alright, family business. So our dad was there. See, I tried to this game system, but the system gamed me. Let's see, Alyssa, this asshole, told us his name right off the go. That's true, Nate. We've had problems with some guys before.
You may come to realize that this business is not for everybody. Just ask your poor, ill dad. It takes dedication and a strong stomach.
It's an eyeball right there.
A lot of times, when I'm finished scrubbing up and digging the bits of intestine out from my fingernails, I must confess I don't have much appetite for red meat. But red meat is one of the principal food groups, and you've got to have it. So when you can do this all day and help yourself to a juicy red steak afterwards, then by golly, you can call yourself a butcher. Of course, amnesia would certainly help that, wouldn't it?
That's the best way to describe it, Nate. I love this game, but I hate this game. No, go ask your pathetic, weak, rotting away father. Now remember, our mom apparently did something to our dad, and that's why he's in bed. Like, it sounded like she did something kinky to our father, and he's in bed. At least that's how they made it sound. And that's sad, Pepper. What if these big corpses were tigers? Really big kitties. Okay, what about my dad's illness?
What exactly is wrong with your dad?
I don't know.
I wouldn't worry about it too much, Steve. You should be thinking about running the family business one day. That, getting into the lodge.
Everybody wants us to get in the lodge. Let's see, the dad's response when you ask him about what happened is one of my favorite lines in the game. I don't remember what it is, Relentless. I can't wait. Let's see, my dad did something like this. I'm just going to stop reading the rest of your quote, Janie, and just leave it at that. Your dad did something like this. I'm just kidding. He was a science teacher, 10th through 12th grade, and on the last day of school, he called me into this classroom and showed me a dissected cat with its heart. Ew! I've never seen a dissected animal like that. When I was in class, we did frogs, I think, and owl pellets. That's pretty much it. He busted a nut so great, he blasted through the roof and broke every bone in his body. Just a guess. Could happen. See, he just asked us about our dad, and he was like, pfft, nobody should care about that. Who cares about your dad? Just worry about getting in the lodge. Okay, if I click on this again, is it going to be the same thing?
What exactly is...
I don't know.
I wouldn't...
So, how about our amnesia?
Look, I'm not kidding about the amnesia. Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, you always were such a kidder, Steve.
Funny how that's beginning to sound like a stock answer. Like it was coached.
You sure are acting like a kidder, son. With your dad ill, you're gonna need to start behaving like an adult. Especially if you're gonna take over the family business.
You always were a kidder, Steve. That's like the third person that said that. Was there any other context around it, or is it like offspring, observe, an open cat? Now see, we once had a pair of cow lungs in our biology class, and our teacher blew air into them using a plastic tube, and one of the boys in our class passed out. Ew, he was too grossed out, I guess. That's terrifying. Very Truman Show-esque. It could be, Blaze, yeah. Did his face change? That's one thing you want to watch, is they do change emotions, and like, they'll be smiling 1 second and grumpy the next. Okay, let's ask about the family business.
You may come to realize that this business is not for everybody.
Fairweather.
Just ask your poor, ill dad. It takes dedication and a strong stomach.
Oops, didn't mean to do that again. We already saw that. Sorry.
A lot of times, when I'm finished scrubbing up, I must confess But Red, then by golly, you can call yourself a butcher.
Sure, you didn't mean to. I didn't realize that was what triggered that. Uh-oh. Did I just break the game? Oh, there we go. Whew. Yeah, so, Fairweather, you came at the perfectly wrong moment. We just wandered into this butcher, which is apparently where we work, and it's our family business we're supposed to take over. And yeah, this guy's just carving up kitties. I want to ask him about the meat.
Come to think of it, I don't see any cattle around here. Where do you keep the animals?
Does it matter? The end product is all the customer cares about, Steve. And we only carry the finest meat. Only the juiciest cuts.
Ew.
Once you take over the business, you'll realize the importance of maintaining quality while cutting costs. We know what we're doing here, Steve. If we didn't, would the lodge use us to cater their affairs?
Oh, we cater the lodge. That might be our way in. Let's see, we don't work here yet, I don't think. That's true, Blaze. I think they're kind of grooming us to work here. They expect us to work here now that we're out of high school, I think. Better cat than person, right? I mean, depends on who you ask. Some people are really big cat lovers. If you ask Andy, she would prefer them to eat humans than dogs. Guaranteed. Cats and flies, yum. I'm sure it's good. Could I have some meat to take home?
Your father's very particular about the profit, Steve. No freebies for anyone. But seeing how you're his son, if you'll bring written permission from your father, I'll give you the meat.
There we go. Okay, cutting costs, you mean by not raising cattle and just using, like, stray cats?
There are certain tricks of the trade, Steve. Once your dad gets better and you start working in here cutting up the meat, you'll be privy to them. There's always cheaper, better ways to do things, if you're creative.
He has to keep looking at that, doesn't he? Bye.
Don't be such a stranger, Steve, and my best to your dad.
Okay, I don't know if there's anything else I could do in here. Yeah, forget the meat. I'd rather have trash. Trash cookies. I was so sad we couldn't eat them, because, I mean, honestly, they were just stacked on top of each other. They're still perfectly good, at least some of them. They never actually touched the trash, you know? I don't think there's anything else we can click on, necessarily. Oh, barrels. Whatever's in these barrels smells extremely bad. Okay, I think that's all for now. We do have an inventory. Oh! Oh! I just right-clicked. I could punch. I don't think you should be doing that. We probably shouldn't be attacking people. Let's see. I'll give you the meat, if you know what I mean. Ew. Oh, did they typo that? Extremely. Let's see. Just practicing kung fu in the corner of a meat factory. No big deal. Go punch the torso guy. That's an easy way to get shot. Okay, I can't rescue the kitties, unfortunately. I mean, we can save it beforehand and try it again. Yeah, the cat should not be chilling there, Fairweather. I agree. The cat should have run away a long time ago. I mean, they're probably trapped in there, but they should be freaking out. Kagin Memorial School. Some of these places, they won't let us in because you just don't need to go there yet. Is there anything to look at? No? We can go in here. I'm going to save it just because I don't trust the game very much. I feel like this game's out to kill us. There we go. Ed Gein? Alright. A bulletin board riddled with staples. These lockers are riddled with inexplicable stains and dents. Sounds like my high school. Oh, there's a sign. It looks like a bake sale will be held here. Gein Memorial Bake Sale this Friday. Who is Ed Gein? I think he was a serial killer. Like a famous one. That is a big, tall glass of nope.
Steve, good of you to drop by, big guy. Haven't seen you since graduation. A lot of changes, I hear.
You could say that.
Yes, we're out of high school.
Good. That's a nice part of my job. Turning fine young men and women out into the world, and then watching them prosper. Of course, I was able to reach more people at the old Sentinel, God bless her. But then again, I never got to see the results of my work up close before.
Who are you?
What the hell does that mean?
You know very well I'm Mr. Harold, the principal of Gein Memorial. Steve, I've heard about this amnesia nonsense. I had hoped you'd be in the lodge by now, fine young fellow like yourself. But now, I think maybe you need a little more quality time.
That was my and Andy's like favorite meme from this game. There's this time where they talk about quality time. And there's another moment when they refer to it as adult quality time. And we would use that back and forth. If there was ever something like kinky going on, like in a movie or something, we'd always have to like use that line. You have a problem when you start quoting Harvester, so I warned you. So the entire time is clearly a cult, but Steve seems to really have amnesia, so what gives? Is it a coincidence? It's gotta... Yeah, I can't say anything, you'll see.
Boy, I sure miss the old newspaper. The sheriff never did investigate that fire properly. Call it a newspaper man's instinct. Though I can't imagine why Sheriff Dwayne would cover up anything. I mean, the only ones who stood to profit from the newspaper going out of business was the owner of the TV station. And Mr. McKnight had an airtight alibi. Still, if not for the fire, I never would have wound up as principal of Gein Memorial.
I mean, that probably is a reference to Ed Gein. And so I guess there used to be a newspaper called the Sentinel, and the building burned up. Yeah, I'd rather not read up on serial killers. It's not very light reading. Won't help you sleep at night.
Gein Memorial. Sounds like a cemetery or a hospital, not a school.
This institution was named for a great man, whose first name escapes me.
Of course it does.
He epitomized the great potential within us all, big guy. I hear there's an honorary plaque commemorating him within the lodge.
Interesting. And is that why they all hate firefighters? Because they didn't put out the fire at the news publication. That's an interesting theory. Yeah, there's a few folks that don't like the firefighters, but I think you'll find out why they hate them. It's really stupid. In a great way.
Big guy, borrowing some quality time. The greatest gift I can bestow upon you as your former principal is a word of advice. Join the Order of the Harvest Moon at any cost. Within the lodge lies your future, and without, dust.
But they never give us a good reason. Just join the lodge, join the lodge. Looks to my left where there is a book called The Killer Book of Serial Killers. That's a cool name for a book, Janie. Let's see, low key, this guy sounds a little like Mr. Garrison. I can hear that, Nate. Yeah. Let's see, they don't really do much firefighting. That's very true, Fairless. Obviously, they didn't put out that fire. We already asked him about being principal.
Surely mine is the most important position in Harvest. The ability to mold young minds. That's power. You might think Sheriff Dwayne's the most important man here, big guy. But he only deals with my failures. When I do my job right, the sheriff never sees a thing.
It's an interesting way of thinking about it. We haven't met the sheriff yet. Why you keep calling me big guy?
Why do you keep calling me big guy?
Wow.
A sign of respect, lad. As principal, my station is higher than yours now, but you never know what the future holds, so you should always hedge your bets and pay tribute to your inferiors. You never know who will come to power, or who, even now, wields it behind the scenes. For all I know, you might already be a member of the Order, with access to the Lodge. If that were the case, you'd be my superior, and I'd be all that much better off having shown you respect and spent some quality time with you.
About that quality time.
What do you mean, quality time?
Some, like Miss Whaley, favor stern discipline, corporal punishment, as a means of socialization. Myself, I temper discipline with love. Quality time can be such a warm, sharing experience. After just a few sessions, you'd stop this amnesia nonsense and become a productive member of society and a fit candidate for the Lodge.
Wait, so one of the teachers, it's like corporal punishment is quality time, and his quality time is love. This is just a tragedy, and you need to fix it. As a literature major, I shouldn't say this, but I have never read Fahrenheit 451. Did they make a movie on that, Relentless? I seem to remember a movie. Let's see, this lodge seems to govern the place, as you'd own the meat plant. Having a hand leading would be nice. That's true, Pepper. Wonder if this guy is a top or bottom. Let's ask. I've already asked about these two things. Wait, did I ask about amnesia?
You turned out pretty good, except for that amnesia nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
There it is again.
Maybe you need a little straightening out. Oh, the things I could do to you. You'd be a much finer young man with just a little quality time.
Just keeps getting worse. Please stop. Yes, yeah, that's why it became a meme. I love it. I hope this continues after this game. We might have to make a quality time emote after this. This game is super memery, by the way. I read 1984, one of my classes, and did a group project on it while another group covered Fahrenheit. I think I've read 1984. Or at least maybe I just know a lot about it. I'm counting on it, John. This is the greatest video game of all time. You know, it's funny because I lived through the period of these games being released, and I played games similar to this. Not nearly as bizarre, but like similar style. I'd never heard of this game until much later.
Drop in again soon. Adult education is a wonderful thing, as is adult quality time.
Imagine being the voice actor, having to record these lines. That would be so hard. It sounds like he does it with a straight face. His face could be his face with the quality and right underneath it, time. Like it. Okay, I think we can go in one of these doors. There's a teacher. This might be where all those kids were singing. A rough sketch of the lodge. Even the paper cutouts look stunned and zombified. Oops, I did not mean to leave. Looks like there's something on the floor right there. A pencil, maybe? The children looked stunned and zombified. Oh, is this the woman who likes corporate punishment? Miss Whaley.
My goodness, class, this is Stephen. He used to be a student here at Gein Memorial. Say hello, class. They're reticent. The educator's gravest problem today is the apathy of the students.
What's wrong with their
Heads. I can tell you in one word, Stephen. Discipline. Thank goodness you weren't a sulky bear. You were always a smiley bear.
Smiley
Then
bear.
you remember me?
Not as such. So many pupils, Stephen. They come and they go. But I can always spot those who were nice boys. You can tell from the forehead. The lobes. Right, class? I'm glad you stopped by, Stephen.
What's wrong with the heads?
Would you care to say a few words to the class about civic responsibility?
Not really. I was just passing through.
Oh, but you must, Stephen. A positive role model might be just the thing to inspire these little monsters. Stephen, have you any questions for me? Or shall I continue with class?
Well, I have lots of questions. Yes, I do. I see all the girls have the same hair and the boys too. Oh, you're right. It took me a second, but yeah, look at these two, and these two. Actually, everybody in the back 2 rows have the same hair except for this kid with that baseball bat, or baseball hat. And the people in the front row all seem to have the same hair.
Ask away then.
Okay. Tell me about Harvest.
Can you tell me anything about Harvest?
Harvest was founded by the Order of the Harvest Moon about 100 years ago.
For what purpose?
Why, I'm sure you'd have to ask them. You'll find the members of the Order at the lodge.
Okay. Then, on to the lodge.
This lodge. What do you know about it?
The building itself, like Harvest, was constructed with a specific purpose in mind. That noble intent is known only to those within the Order. You're at about the right age to join them, Stephen, and you will do so if you care about your future.
Can't I just, like, move away where it's not so creepy? Yeah, since when is a town founded by an order? It sounds totally cultish. Oh, Jesse wants down. Let me try this again. Say goodbye, Jesse. Bye, guys. Aw, Jesse, you're in the John Cadia arcade. That's so cute. What a good girl. You what a good girl. Oh, she's had enough of my lap. Okay, let's hear about this quality time corporal punishment.
We don't practice corporal punishment here. I've never believed in that old adage, spare the rod and spoil the child. A rod is too thin. But a baseball bat?
Jesus.
That bridges the generation gap quite nicely.
Oh.
Oh dear. Colonel Monroe is conducting another air raid drill. Everyone into the hallway, quick!
Jeez. She hits the kids with a baseball bat. Gonna get some lemonade, Janie? I hope that helps. Lemonade sounds good.
If an A-bomb hits, what good is it gonna do to duck and cover?
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
My
that just
stars,
happened.
that was exciting.
Yeah, what? She just murdered a student? He just asked a question. It started off less violent, and then you just see gore everywhere. It was a very good question. Okay, I think we've asked all the questions we can ask.
Stop by anytime, Stephen.
I don't know. I don't think I ever need to come back here. You know, he mentioned what's wrong with all the children's heads. I want to actually see their heads. A projector carefully engineered to sound good when played underwater. What? A weird thing to say. Let's see, this cutscene specifically is basically doing the splits across the line of humor and horror. It went from like, yeah, why underwater? That didn't make any sense, Pepper. It was like Looney Tunes, followed by a horror movie. Examine the broom closet. The door's locked. Maybe we can get in there later. Ah, there's a fire alarm, though. A glass-protected fire alarm. And it doesn't look like we can go into any of the other rooms. That is a good point, Fairweather. They've been smacked so many times, they all look zombified. And that's why the dunce cap was all bloody. Okay, I think we're done at the school. Like, where do I have to click to exit? It's weird. Nah, that couldn't be it. Let's see, I really hope this game has an epic OTT ending where we get to kill all the cultist bastards. Or maybe they're commie bastards. Let's see. I have a feeling this game will have a slightly less than good ending. You think? TV station. Maybe these are the guys that burned down the newspaper. Oh, look at the line. Indians. Too busy drinking and smoking. They ignore you. You trying to say all Indians do is drink and smoke? On game? What are you trying to say? A silver tucker with a yellow interior. That's a pretty bad stereo. I mean, stereotypes is like the worst, the least of this game's atrocities. I'll admit, it's not entirely inaccurate though. Okay, a corny western backdrop, complete with cardboard teepee. Talk to range rider. What else is there? Examine the camera. Odd, no one is operating the cameras. There's 3 people here, but we can't talk to them. There's a sign up here. A fairly primitive form of mind control. The applause sign? I like that. Let's see. Is it like the show Hank likes? Oh, they might be recording that right now. Yeah, Blaze.
Stay tuned, buckaroos. There's more to come on Range Rider's Cowboy Roundup. So don't go away.
Guy
And
looks
what's your name,
so uninterested.
hombre?
Steve.
Steve's a swell name. My dog's name is Steve.
What?
Would you like my autograph, Steve?
Does he have like a, what do you call it? A cue card for every single thing he says? Even when it's just right off the cuff? Sure. I'd like a signature. Why not?
Here you go, then.
About that TV violence.
Violence? What about it?
Oh. His face changed. He didn't like that. Oh, and the music is skipping too. Okay, children watch your show. Don't you think this violence is bad for them? Or, I love all that blood and gore on your show. Think of the children.
Violence is as American as apple pie and low SAT scores. Where would we be right now if the cowboys hadn't gone out west and butchered innocent people to steal their land? Answer me that, Mr. Know-It-All.
But what about studies that have shown that children become more violent when watching violence?
Buckaroo, I rip the guts out of godless heathen Injuns.
Dear
Most
God.
kids don't see godless heathen Injuns on a regular basis, and if they do, they better either get their eyes checked or do like old Range Rider and shoot the bejesus out of them, lest they want to go untreated for psychotic hallucinations, or wind up with their scalps hanging from a buckskin belt. Oh, shit! Ow! Shit on a stickaroo!
I don't remember that line.
The parents that are griping about violence on TV are the same parents that go outside in the morning to fetch their papers, secure in the knowledge that they won't get an arrow through the noodle because the violence they hate so much done cleared the Injuns out of the neighborhood.
Yeah, civilization has benefited from violence. But should violence be treated as entertainment?
Check my rating, son. Violence is entertainment. I just put it on the air. If some kid watches, that says something about the kid, not me. Now, excuse me, we're going back on the air.
So, I got a question. What do you guys think? That big line of people, are they coming in to be actors? Or are they coming in and actually getting murdered on screen? Because I could see that happening too. And it's live, yeah. Right? It's live. Yeah, option 1, Pepper, be a decent human being. Option 2, play along with the game. Yeah, you don't seem to be very consistent when it comes to whether you want to pretend to fit in or not yet. Sometimes they don't give me very good options. Sometimes they're like both fitting in, and sometimes they're both like against the grain, you know? Okay, are we done talking to him? I kind of sworn there was other options.
Can't talk now, Buckaroo. We're on in just a sec.
Oh, okay.
Happy trails, Buckaroo.
Can we go this way? What's over here? Here we go. War. A picture of a gorgeous model signed with a kiss, or signed with "Kiss My Pineapple," Red Muffy. Kiss My Pineapple? Very poor reception. Strange, since the broadcast originates from here. Yeah, they should be able to see it perfectly well, right? Yeah, I think that's it in here, except for the guy.
Hey, Sport. This is a private office.
Yeah, I know, Mr.
McKnight. I own and operate this station. Have you brought me some news for tonight's broadcast, or...
I've lost my memory. That's news.
The hell it is! You always were a kidder, Steve. Any real news to tell me?
Wait, he knows our name?
Actually, I was just wanting to know more about the TV station.
Hey, WHAR is the only television station in Harvest. Since the old Sentinel went under, what with the newspaper building burning down and all, we're golden. Nobody competes with us, Sport.
He seemed pretty happy about that place burning down. What an odd coincidence. Let's see, this is the guy who the principal mused may have covered something up. That's right, Blaze. I think we should kind of go that route. You always were a kidder, Steve. Adult quality time.
Hey now, Sport, that's an irresponsible allegation.
This face.
I had nothing to do with that fire. Just because WHAR may have benefited from it and I danced on the ashes a little doesn't mean I torched the place. You can ask Sheriff Dwayne if you have any doubts.
You seem awfully touchy on the subject, Sport.
I'm touchy when people try to muscle their way into my business. I'd appreciate it if you'd leave my office.
Crap.
And don't come back. Don't hurry back.
No, I can't talk to anymore. WHAR, as if anyone says it like that instead of war. I like war better myself. He looks a bit like a president. Which one? Did he have a mullet? It looked like he had a little bit of a mullet. Huge fire. Alright, so we're done at this place, I believe. We have the best fires. Okay, Edna's Diner. We haven't been here yet. Ooh, a motorcycle. A 1955 Frag 100 with a real leather seat. Is that a real motorcycle? A Frag? Even from the ground, you can hear the sonorous buzz of the neon. Notice that the E is gone, so it actually says DNA's Diner. Let's see, I wasn't thinking that one, but that works. The engines aren't sending their best. No, they're not. Let's see. Funny pronounced war, and the station's primary show is all about violence. Coincidence? Karen, over here on the ground.
Hi, what's your name?
Karen,
What are you doing?
playing. My mom is working, so I gotta stay out of her hair. Wanna play?
Not now, maybe later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
She's the first person that doesn't give me the creeps in this game. Okay, I gotta remember to save often in this game. Let's go ahead and create another one. Let's see, I saw the pic of a place that had a 1 hour picture place inside, but the lights were out, so I just said 1 hour poo. That's amazing. And true for some people that have some problems. Let's see, I know that's because you were replying to Relentless, but I just looked up for my puzzle and I saw was right queer and I died laughing. Let's see, her voice is super annoying, but she's not being a little shit, so I'm conflicted. I know, she doesn't seem creepy yet.
Oh, Steve, what are you doing sneaking up on me like that? God, for a second I thought you were Mr. Johnson. What would you like
So
to
this
order?
is Edna. You know me?
Sure. And my name's Edna Fitzpatrick. I'm not the one with amnesia.
Then you believe me.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I guess I've changed. I'm not kidding.
Now, Steve, faking amnesia won't help
Oh,
anything.
she looks pissed.
If you don't want to marry Stephanie, then don't. But don't play sick, for heaven's sake. I'd expect that from Karen, not an 18-year-old.
Yeah. I'm too sick to get married. Let's see. We can't win them all, or any of them. Let's see. The music is a little creepy here. Almost like weird, dilapidated, like shopping mall music or something. I don't think we know Mr. Johnson yet. All right, let's ask about, because I guess that's her daughter.
You've met Karen, my 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Other than the diner, she's all I have.
Okay, not too evil. Maybe a little bit creepy. All right, Stephanie. That's not her name. Who's Stephanie? Oh wait, that's the girl we're supposed to marry. That's right.
There isn't a nicer girl in Harvest than Stephanie, Steve. You should be grateful that she's promised you her hand.
I don't remember that happening, Edna.
Honestly, you men are so childish. I don't know what it is about marriage that turns even the bravest man into a coward. I was going to marry Karen's father when he just up and ran out on me one night. I heard that he joined the lodge, but if he did, I never saw him come out again. Even Sheriff Dwayne wasn't able to find out what happened to him.
There we go. Little break in the action. Thank you so much for the host. See, MTL Price 31. Really appreciate you dropping in. What were you playing? Have you played Harvester? This is one of the most ridiculous games you will ever see. Oh my goodness. Oh, that didn't work. Got the shout out. There we go. What were you playing? You were also playing Retro. What were you playing? Yeah, if you've never seen this game before, it's kind of offensive, kind of gross, kind of creepy, but also funny, goofy, and hilarious. It's hard to pinpoint. It's just a really ridiculous game. Let's see. Right now, Janie, I'm sick. Never feel like doing anything when I'm sick. Oh, that sucks. I didn't know you were sick, Pepper. What'd you come down with? Actually, I just missed flu shots at my work, so I'm hoping I don't catch the flu. Let's see. Stephanie is a great member of the lodge. She does a lot for the harvest. I didn't realize that she was already part of the lodge. Resident Evil 3. Nice. That's such a good game. I've actually never finished that one. I rented it back in the day when it was a brand new game, but I've never actually beaten the game. Loved the original and 2 and 4, but I don't know why I never actually finished 3. I'm hoping they do a remake of that game, because I do need to check that out. Let's see, I'm just joking, John. Pertaining to Praiser. Okay, that makes more sense. Let's see, I didn't get much done today, other than doing some writing, but at least that's something, even if I only wrote 2,000 words or so. What are you writing right now, Relentless? Let's see, not a terrible cold, but the worst I've had in a while. I'm sorry to hear that, Pepper. Lots of fluids, you know, all the regular. Soup, tea, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, with a lot of, sicknesses, it just takes time. That's the only real way to get over it. Let's see, I need to do homework, but, again, no. I don't miss homework. Homework is terrible. Let's see, sore throat, sore muscles, bad nose. Ooh, when it's sore muscles, that's the worst. Because then you don't want to do anything. If it's a sore throat and a nose, I can keep working. That's fine. But once everything hurts, then you just don't want to do anything. Especially if you get the chills and stuff. All right, so let's ask her, who the heck is Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Johnson has a liking for me. I'd call it a crush, but that's too innocent a word. He's a bitter man with too much time on his hands. He's never gotten over being rejected by the lodge, and there's something unwholesome in the way he looks at me. I'm always glad when the sheriff comes in every day at noon.
So who is it? Let's see, this game is effed up. That is right, Echo. Welcome. Good to know that you've seen this game. It's bizarre. It's part funny and part horrific. Oh, and Price, thank you so much for the follow as well. I appreciate it. I don't think we asked her about the sheriff.
Sheriff Dwayne is such a dear man.
This is new.
And I don't just say that because he's my most regular customer. Every single day, rain or shine, he comes in here at noon for lunch. Sits in the same spot, too. That's at least an hour every day when I can be sure Mr. Johnson won't show up. You know, it's funny.
Who is it?
Dwayne never comes in here with Deputy Loomis, but he frequently dines with Mr. McKnight. You know, the owner of the TV station. Sometimes he comes in with Postmaster Boyle, but somehow I don't think they're friends.
Okay, we got a few new names here. How's it going, Vanny? Welcome. Glad you could drop in. Did they... I mean, Blaze, are you surprised that they're making mistakes in this game? I'm not. Postmaster Boyle. But good catch. You're very observant.
Though I see them together a lot, Boyle and the sheriff never act very friendly towards each other. Almost like there's some kind of bond between them besides friendship. Though what it might be, I can't imagine.
Ooh, a bond.
Maybe Sheriff Dwayne resents the fact that he's never been able to get into the lodge. Though that's not Boyle's fault. He just hands out the applications. He doesn't decide who gets admitted.
That's right. Yeah, he was the guy... No, I don't think Postmaster Boyle is the aliens guy. The aliens guy was in... He's like that farm worker that was in the barbershop. Postmaster Boyle was the guy that wouldn't print us out any more applications. Jerk. Let's see, I've been lurking for a while, just doing some boring junk online, ready to watch this creepy junk now. That is the best description. Creepy junk. Okay, did we already ask about the lodge?
The lodge is the repository of all wisdom. You should join the Order of the Harvest Moon, Steve. And soon.
She sounds like a robot right now.
For God's sake, what is it about this place?
The wheat ripens and waits not for the scythe. The farmer who waits too long, it were better that he use the scythe to rip his own stomach out than to stay his scythe when the wheat ripens. The harvest moon wanes and then comes winter. An empty belly, the body sans belly, gurgling within or bloody on the ground. What does it benefit a man if he gains his soul and loses the world? You hunger. Feed yourself before it's too late. Oh.
Edna?
Steve.
She's like possessed.
What happened? Were we talking about Boyle? Or was it Karen?
Like she was
You
programmed.
seemed strange there for a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress. Running this diner all alone. Forgive me.
So she can be herself, but she got possessed for a small chunk of time. As soon as we mention the lodge. I say he only prints them out once a month, John. He can't do it more often. He just can't. And there's always a line for them too, right, Relentless? I think it's hard to get.
Stop by anytime, Steve.
Let's see, the cult members aren't necessarily willing. The plot thickens. And at least the Colonel tried to hide the fact that he wanted you to join them under the pretense of spying. That's a good point, Pepper. He might not be one of them, you know?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, is there anything else I need to look out here? I don't think so. The bathroom. Nah, I think that's it here. Okay, there's only a few more places, and I think we've kind of searched the whole town. We got the police station. We could finally meet the sheriff, maybe. The cop ignores you. Too busy writing a bug report. A bug report? What? Anybody hear that? It sounded like a gunshot go off. He might actually wanted us to spy, though. And he wanted us to spy on the firemen. That's true. He seems... I mean, even though he's out of his mind, he doesn't really sound like he's part of the cult. Let's see. Examine the coffee pot. The pot hisses at you from its perch. Examine the map. A map of Harvest. Alright, let's check with Sheriff Dwayne.
Hello, Steve. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sheriff Dwayne, and this here is Loomis.
Pleasure, I reckon.
Then, we haven't met before?
Of course we have, but I heard about your alleged amnesia and figured I'd play along. I sure hope this is just a prank, and not the start of some insanity plea. Keep your nose clean, or you'll wind up in jail, and that's no place to hold a wedding.
I understand you witnessed Miss Whaley's dispensing a little discipline at the school, and she thinks you may be feeling a mite bent about.
Just a wee bit. That woman cripples children. Let's see. He's so crazy the cult rejected him, right? Met Marius, what's going on, dude? Give everybody a second to, you know, funnel in after the ad roll. What's going on, man? How you been? Thank you so much for the raid. What were you guys playing? God Eater 3. I know the title, but I have no idea what that game is. What is God Eater 3? I imagine it's an action game. Kick John Katie while the avatars are up. Yeah, so if you're in this stream and you chat and you follow, you get one of these little guys you can customize, and yeah, as soon as they pop up, everybody attacks. Yeah, let's do another star. It's been a little while we chat with you. Good suggestion. So I'm going to drop a star, and if you're in here, if you type !jump, you have a chance to grab it and get 5 free tokens to the channel that you can spend on customizing, sound effects, all kinds of stuff. Let's see, imagine Monster Hunter, but with anime and faster. There we go. A lot faster paced. Nice. I want to know who's going to get this. I'm guessing Nate's going to get it. Oh, I was right. I had a hint. I had like feeling in my gut. Nice job, Nate. Parkour. Every time he grabs it, parkour. So God Eater 3, nice. Are you liking it so far? Is this your first time playing God Eater, or have you never played it before? We are playing a very bizarre game. This one is called Harvester. It's hard to describe. It's an old point-and-click adventure game. Everybody is played by real-life actors, and it's very funny, very cheesy, also very horrific and disturbing, and offensive to everybody. So, strap in. Let's see, my little guy always starts walking when he needs to stay still. I know, and it's so much harder when they're walking. If they're standing still, it's much easier. Let's see. Now you've been playing it a bunch? Nice. Did you play the first 2 God Eater games, or is this your first one? Okay, so I think I want to tell this sheriff that the woman actually cripples children, because that's what happened. Or do we play along and say, I'm my own business, Sheriff? Let's see, I'm not sure what to think of my character. He looks like he's naked, but I can't find any clothing for him. You can't pick out an outfit, Pepper? Nothing wrong with just, you know, letting it all hang out there. I don't think those are the only options, John. But Blaze is kind of like this game. You get 2 negative options. They don't let you say anything good. Let's go ahead and tell him that that woman cripples children.
You need to forget about it, boy. I don't interfere in school discipline. I leave that to the professionals.
Look at that face.
And so should you. Heck, there isn't a psychiatrist around who'd disagree about what a calming influence a dent in the head can be. You can't argue with science, Steve. It's bigger than all of us.
A calming influence to get a dent in the head. Well, yeah, your brain doesn't work anymore. Come on. Let's see, it's the first one I played, but I kept track of the other 2. Well worth playing, though, if you never have. You know, I'm wondering if I own it. I'm not sure. Because I have like Humble Bundle, and I've gotten a ton of games through that, and I have like, you know, PlayStation Plus. I wonder if it's ever dropped on one of those services. I'll have to check it out. If not, though, I'll have to check out a trailer. Let's see, this guy sounds like he has a dent in the head. And he probably gives other people dents in heads. Oh, is it a multiplayer game too, Marius? That's pretty sweet. You were saying it's like Monster Hunter, so that makes sense. Yeah, that was more than a dent in the head. That was a full-on skull smashing. It was like he hit the kid in the front, I think, and his like skull was caved in, but he's also bleeding out the back. Let's see. Yeah, 4 per hunt, but if you do assault mission, it takes up to 8 players. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Do you play with friends, or do you usually just play solo with like random people? Let's tell them about our amnesia.
Why do you want to break your poor mama's heart with all this amnesia bunk?
I'm telling you the truth. Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve.
Yeah, so everybody keeps telling me.
Boy, you need to stop all this funning and get serious. You've got a wedding coming up soon. Heck, you should be thinking about your career and about joining the lodge.
Of course. Join the lodge. Join the lodge. Hey, baby. What's up? Oh, sorry, I didn't hear. I just heard Georgie. You're a ninja. Andy's been hiding in the hallway, just like staring. You've been waiting for some adult quality time with Georgie. Ew. Georgie, you gonna go have some quality time with Mama? Go get her. Go get her. John, tell Andy we want telling lies. No, Blaze. You gotta wait for her to want to do it. Every time I ask her, she postpones it like another 2 weeks. Let's see. You're a kidder. Amnesia is fake. Join the lodge. You're a kidder. Amnesia is fake. Join the lodge. Exactly. Are you seeing a pattern? I see. It's almost as if you've always been a kidder is like the trigger, and the rest of the dialogue about the wedding and lodge repeats itself. So you're saying they're programmed. Let's see. We have some quality time with Mama. Oh, well, not my mom. Georgie with his mom. Never mind. Okay, let's ask about the wedding. Changing the subject.
Amnesia or no, you can't have forgotten you're about to marry the prettiest little thing in Harvest.
I haven't even seen her.
I think you and Stephanie are perfect for each other. I just hope her father's disappointment doesn't spoil everything.
Disappointment?
Mr. Potsdam wants to hold the wedding in the lodge, but he'll never get in. Like all the rest, he's always hanging around the post office the first day of the month, waiting for Boyle to bring out that month's lodge applications. And there's always a long line, never enough applications to go around, and even if you do get an application, chances are you're right out of luck. Fewer called to the order and even less accepted. And Potsdam, well, they've turned him down so many times, unless he does something radical, he'll never get in.
Poor Potsdam. Oh, I knew what I was saying, Blaze. Let's see, I thought I was going to marry Amnesia and join the kidder. Now I'm lost. Dang it! Instructions unclear. I nuked the whole town. Alright, let's ask about crime. Nate has it too. We're in trouble. Everybody's breaking down. We're losing our programming.
Crime-wise, nothing much has happened in Harvest since the newspaper fire. Oh, sure. Every week or so, we get the odd transient dropping dead. But other than that, it gets pretty slow around here.
Transient just dropping dead? What? Let's see. I know we need to punch Hank. Oh, that was our little brother, right? Let's see. I'm lost at the moment, but I'm sure I'll understand it at some point. Honestly, Marius, you may never understand this game. The basic idea is that we woke up in this town, we have amnesia, we don't know anybody, we don't know our family, we don't know the person we're supposedly going to marry very soon. We're wandering around talking to people, and everybody is telling us basically the same thing. We need to go to the lodge, join them. It's this really important group that kind of makes everybody successful and controls the whole town. So it's really weird. Say, watch out for any nets, Steve. Instructions unclear. Hosted Overwatch League instead of Junkadia. No, Janie. This game totally could have been made by aliens. Doctor, how's it going, Doc? Hope you're having a great... What was today? Tuesday? I took yesterday off, so my whole week is completely messed up. But hope you're having a wonderful day. Good to see you in here. We're playing probably one of the most disturbing games you've ever seen. I want to ask about the newspaper fire.
Sure. You remember? The Sentinel building burned down about 6 months ago.
That's what I'm telling you, Sheriff. I don't remember anything. Why won't you believe I have amnesia?
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve. Anyway, the fireman said the fire was caused by arson. I never caught the perp, though.
But we found the gas can that was used. Yes, sirree, Bob. It's in the evidence room.
There we go.
That's classified. Darn it.
How many times you gonna have to tell me to keep my mouth shut, I wonder? Sorry, boss.
Fired.
You've got the gas can in the evidence room? Did you dust it for prints?
You've been watching too much TV, Steve. Heck, who can make out all those curvy lines anyhow? No, it's sitting in there gathering dust, clean as the day we found it.
just in case I ever need a spare gas can. That case is closed, Steve.
Perfect. Don't check evidence, just hold on to it in case you need it for something. Amazing sheriff here. It must be awkward to do the body acting for this game. I mean, yeah, he's just kind of standing there, tapping his foot and making these weird expressions. I think I already asked him about the amnesia. What about Loomis? This is his partner.
Loomis here is my deputy. Without him, I'd have a hard time keeping the peace, or at least taking a lunch break. Mainly Loomis answers the phone and babysits the office while I'm out, though sometimes he likes to go in the back and stain the jail mattress.
Ew.
Isn't that right, Loomis?
Oh, now, Sheriff, what you gotta go and say that for?
Stain it with what?
Loomis has more than his share of problems. I wouldn't invite him to the wedding. Or, if you do, make sure he doesn't catch the garter. That could be embarrassing.
Oh, I wouldn't do nothing, Dwayne. But I sure would like a little garter than been around Stephanie's thigh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that'd be right special.
Ew. Yeah, it's one of those kind of games, guys. We asked about crime. He talked about transients. I want to ask him about transients, though, so I think we need to do this again.
Crime-wise, no.
There we go.
We get a lot of bums, drifters passing through Harvest. Those people are never very healthy to start with. I figure they come to our fair town, look around, and decide it's a nice place to die.
You mean they drop dead here on a regular basis?
What?
Like flies. I'd slap 'em all in jail if I could, but there's never enough room. Besides, they're pretty good about not sticking around long. Sure, it's a burden on Mr. Moynihan, though, having to bury them all. I only hope the PTA Lodge bake sale will help out along those lines.
That's right, the bake sale was supposed to help homeless people, so they're just trying to keep them alive, I guess? So they stop coming to this town and just dying? That was a lot of yikes. Why'd you have to spell it out in capitals, bold italics, and underline 3 times, Blaze? Let's see, you leave our fiance's thighs alone. Now, Loomis, he wasn't the creepy guy. Mr. Johnson, was that the guy in the TV station? I was trying to pin who's going to the diner and being creepy to Edna. I'm trying not to get my names confused. Alright, what about Moynihan? Or Moynihan?
Oh, I forgot. You've got amnesia. Mr. Moynihan operates both the Wayward Hotel and the mortuary. Kind of a double burden for the poor man. Transients always wandering in and looking for a place to crash, then croaking.
Maybe it's not a coincidence.
Business is booming.
You mean a crime? Oh, no. Moynihan's charity only extends so far. He won't check them in, but he'll sure check them out quick enough. He figures if they can't pay for the room, to hell with them. But if they can't pay for the burial, it's hell for us. What with the smell and all.
Jeez.
I guess you can't say too much against Moynihan. What with him letting you hold the wedding in his mortuary chapel and all.
What? We're doing the wedding at the mortuary? Let's see, if you woke up in this town, John, would you investigate or get out immediately? Get out immediately. Well, it depends, Blaze. I mean, if I had any memories of, like, my life right now, then I would think I would get out immediately, because I know it's not right. But if he had complete amnesia, they might even be able to fool you a little bit to think you belong there, you know? But I would probably investigate a little bit, but after the second or third person I've talked to that sounds crazy, then I'm getting the hell out of there. Let's see, Mr. Johnson is the one being creepy to Edna, and then Dwayne comes and he scrams. But so we haven't met Mr. Johnson yet, or was he the guy at the TV station? I think we've asked about all of these. Let me check with the wedding again real quick.
Amnesia or no, you can't have forgotten you're about to marry the prettiest little thing in Harvest.
Oh yeah,
Disappoint.
Father's disappointment. We heard that before. Because he can't seem to get into the lodge. Did we already ask him about the lodge?
I don't mind telling you. I'd never get anything done if not for the lodge's efforts. To join the Order of the Harvest Moon is the highest dream of everyone in Harvest.
How can I get an application? Because the guy won't print anymore. I want to join.
Like I said, unless you get an application on the first day of the month, you're generally out of luck. Stop by the post office and talk to Postmaster Boyle. You never know. He might have a spare application laying around.
Does not. Alright, bye.
Stop on by any time, Steve.
Okay, I'm kind of afraid to talk to Loomis, but I know we have to. I'm still afraid. See, I don't know why, but Dwayne sounds like if Doug Dimmadome were corrupt. Who's Doug Dimmadome? See, the lodge would sound real cozy without the Harvest Moon part. And, yeah, apparently mind controlling everybody.
Anything I can help you with?
Not my linens. That coffee sure smells good.
Help yourself. Speaking of which, you're real lucky to be marrying Stephanie. She don't look like a good woman. I just hope she don't turn out like Mrs. Loomis, or mercy forbid Mrs. Phelps. Good women can be awful hard on a man's needs, don't you know?
The hell happened with this guy? Let's see, who was Doug Dimmadome? John Katie. Wait, should I know who that is? Let's see, the lodge. Oh, we already heard that. Yeah, but together, it's the owner of the Deemsdale Dimmadome. He's from Fairly Hot. Okay, I've never actually watched that show. Don't kill me. Yeah, see, let me see if some Black Flag and Lovely Shanties will help me. You need to unwind. Stabbing people in Assassin's Creed isn't a bad way to do it. Alright, what does this guy think of Stephanie? Why do you keep quoting me, Blaze? Am I saying it wrong?
Oh gosh darn, she's purty. Kinda like a gal I seen on some of them French postcards they used to make.
This is the creepiest sounding guy ever.
Used to be. I'd take them things, go back into jail if nobody was there, and kind of look them over one-handed, fold some towels. That was before Mrs. Loomis.
So cringy, I wanted to skip it. Okay. About them French postcards.
Of course, I don't necessarily mean French postcards. That's just what we called them in my day. Any kind of girly picture book, the kind men like, would be just dandy. I'd be right grateful, kiddo, if you were to bring me one.
Hey, speaking of which, don't we have a nudie magazine we got from the general store? Remember, it was like 25 cents, and that's exactly what we had. And I know Pepper, Robocadia likes to chime in with the follow announcement just when we're watching the most uncomfortable scene. Like, you enjoying what you're seeing? No. See, he should go spend some quality time at the school with the principal. Will that teach me all about your, what was it? Fairly Odd Parents? Go get porn for an old redneck. What a great side quest. So wholesome. Okay, let's ask him about Mrs. Loomis before we give him porn.
Oh gosh, I wish I had some of them girly pictures, but Mrs. Loomis won't let me keep them in the house. I still remember the time she caught me holding some of them pictures up with one hand. She took the broom to me. I howled like a hound dog, the broom going up and down.
Oh God.
And straw and blood and straw, and I drooped. I was crying so bad, and it was so hard I had to crawl under the porch naked with all the black widow spiders, and I got bit something fierce. Little fangs digging into my bare behind all over.
Black Widow?
I ask you, is that any way to treat a man? And Mrs. Phelps and the sheriff don't make it no easier neither.
Wait, what? What is he talking about? So apparently, He was jerking it to some postcards or porn or something, and his wife caught him. She then took a broom, and I'm going to pretend the up and down meant she was hitting him with it. I don't want to think of the other thing he could do with that broom. And he was totally naked, had to go outside. He crawled under the house to avoid his wife, and he got bit by black widders, he called them, on the buttocks. The view count dropped by 1. Right as he said under the porch naked. I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. Yeah, it's better not to think about it. Say it with me, John. Dimsdale. Okay, Dimmadome. Is that right? Dimsdale Dimmadome. I'm back. What did I miss? You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything, Doc. You don't want to know what you missed. Nope, nope, nope. You didn't miss anything. Alright, I don't know if we asked him about Sheriff Dwayne.
If Sheriff Dwayne had a little kindness, he let me get around the little lady by letting me keep some of them picture books here, even if Mrs. Phelps had let me buy one. But see, he won't let me keep none here neither. He don't like me getting the jail mattress all marked up, don't you know?
This is like the most uncomfortable conversation you could ever have in a video game. This is not a game to play with your parents. Hey Mom, check this game out. Alright, let's ask about that mattress.
Sometimes a man can be good with a gun or a knife, but even so, one-handed and all, he can get a little off in his aim. Ain't no shame in it. That's why the good Lord made evaporation and such. But the sheriff, he don't like it, and don't pay no mind to a man's needs no more than Mrs. Loomis. Bless her.
Creepy. Let's ask about your needs. How deep can we go? We need to go deeper.
Why, you sure ought to appreciate what a man's got to do sometimes in a parked car, or a waist-high knothole in a tree, or jail cell at noon. Matter of fact, Mrs. Phelps got no reason not to sell you some of them French postcard girly picture books.
I think we already bought one.
If you can get any, you see clear to part with them. Bring them round when the sheriff's at lunch, and I'd be obliged.
Hey Shane, this is so uncomfortable. This game is solid gold, and you are a champ for playing it. You know, I played it once years ago, not when it first came out, but it was probably a good like 6-7 years ago. The game was phenomenal. It's like one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen, and I just had to share it with the community, no matter how uncomfortable this discussion is. Let's see. Or with Triss inside the lighthouse. Oh, what do I think of? Oh wait, that's The Witcher, right? Let's see. I think doing the do with Yennefer on top of a life-size stuffed unicorn is a bit more awkward. This game's gonna get worse, Janie. Just wait. Okay. I don't know if we asked about Mrs. Phelps yet.
Mrs. Phelps down at the general store don't help things none. She's got them special picture books, the one with the ladies.
Okay, it's time to give me that
She
book.
won't sell me none on account of she knows my wife, Mrs. Loomis. Dad gum if that don't burn my britches. If and I even ask about 'em, she tells Mrs. Loomis, and I get the broom.
I'll bet you do.
Enough to break a man's heart. Her burning my French postcards and me unable to replace them. A man's got needs, don't you know?
No, the broom. The way he described it, you could take it two different ways. I'm gonna pretend like he was smacked over the head with the broom. Anything but the broom. Okay, so we actually already bought his nudie mag, so I'm thinking maybe if we give that to him, he might... Yes, right, Pepper? Ban Mr. Loomis. He might give us that gas can that's in the evidence room.
Anytime, kiddo.
God, don't ever say it again. Okay, so let's try Adult Magazine. Let's drop it on Mr. Loomis as much as I don't want to help him.
Oh, I seen you brung me a girly picture book.
Maybe.
Oh, Don't give me it now. Come back when the sheriff's at lunch. Say a little afternoon, and you'll be right as rain in my book, kiddo.
Okay, so we have to actually come back when the sheriff's not here.
Boy, the way you keep pestering me, you'd think you were feeling guilty about something.
Whoa.
Are you?
Whoa, I'm not guilty. Bye.
Stop on by any time, Steve.
Can we actually check out the evidence room? That door's locked. That door's locked.
That's the evidence room.
There we go.
Where we store items lifted from crime scenes. It's kept locked at all times. There's things in there that could make people jump through hoops, if I wanted.
Oh, so he's using, like, blackmail. Alright. Now, they said I could take some coffee. I'm only guilty of wanting to spend some quality time with you, Sheriff. I love that. Alright, now I'm guessing that we can't just take the whole coffee thing. Maybe we need to have a mug. Yeah, I can't seem to do anything with it. But so we'll come back if we get a cup or something, because they did say we could take coffee. It's not right. I love that, Shane. Quality time. Speaking of hoops, when is it basketball time? When we take a break, Spider? Although I don't think I'll need another break. You missed the game, though. We actually already did a game of basketball. You weren't there. See, quality time would be a quality sub alert noise. Ooh, that's a good idea. Or even not that. That needs to be a just a sound that you guys can play whenever you want. That is a good idea, Pepper. We're gonna add that for sure. Let's see. I think spending quality time with the sheriff is something you might see in one of those girly magazines. It wouldn't be so much a girly magazine at that point, though, would it? We definitely need some quality time sounds. What have I done? You shouldn't have said nothing. Okay, I think we're... Oh, there's a fire station and newspaper building. Well, let's check out the newspaper building, because there's not going to be anything here. It got burned down. But there might be something to look at. Examine the ashes. What's left of the newspaper building after an extreme fire. The hell? They sound like aliens to you? Sounds like aliens to me. Chat demands quality time. Shovel. Here we go. A shovel is sticking out of the building's ashes. Yoink. I'll be taking that. See, I hear nothing. You don't hear that? It sounds like a weird alien, like 60s alien sounds or something. Oh, there's pipes over here. Major destroy all human vibes. Okay, good. I'm not going crazy. Very sci-fi. At least the plumbing held up. It's interesting. Is there anything else to look at? I think that might have been it. I think we just needed the shovel here. Oh, fire hydrant. 3 fire hydrants and the building still burned down. That's interesting. The fire department did not care at all. Alright. Let's check out this famous fire department.
Please excuse the mess. They've done wonders with the upstairs bedroom, but this garage defies color coordination.
Okay. Another thing I've slowly noticed, I don't know if I remember it in my first playthrough. You see that symbol right there? I think that's the symbol of the lodge, and I think almost every building has had this symbol. See, maybe Destroy All Humans has a Harvester vibe. Touché, Spider Monkey. That was a good game, Destroy All Humans. I like that game. What do you mean? Totally normal fireman. This is the fire department. Alright, let's check out this dog. Saliva is foaming from the barking chops. They're like those Barbie Ken dolls. Right? Let's see, I take it you heard they're remaking Destroy All Humans. I did hear about that. Is it like a full remake, or is it like a HD conversion of the original? Let's see, is this Queer Eye for the straight guy? Let's find out.
Hello, Steve. Welcome to the House of Flame, as we like to call it. Oh, cut it out, Spots, honestly. Once he gets barking, a good piece of meat is the only way to shut him up. There you go, Spot.
Did he just have like a steak in his pocket?
So, Oh, Steve! Bet you don't remember me. Heard about that short in the old wiring. I'm Fire Marshal Sparky, head of your fire department.
They sound like a caricature from like South Park, doesn't it? Like when South Park does, what's his name, Mr. Slave? Kind of reminds me of Mr. Slave's voice. Let's see, it is a full remake with all new assets. That's cool. I never played a lot of that game. I rented it back in the day on PS2, and I really enjoyed Destroy All Humans, but I never beat it, so that'd be fun. Let's see, this looks like my house when I get home. You might want to ask your wife about that, Spider. Yikes, right, Vanny? Let's see, the first person to believe us about amnesia, and it's this guy. Yeah, where did you hear about my memory loss?
Don't be silly. Everyone thinks that amnesia kick is a scream. Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. Besides, it's my job to keep abreast of developments in the community to better serve you, the public. I'm sure you'll be thrilled when you learn of the many civic improvements we have planned for your fire department.
Such as?
Well, don't tell any of the others, but I've secured a bolt of the most divine mauve material. I've hidden it because, well, if any of these Marys got a hold of it, it'd be gone in a jiffy. So I'd rather keep it hush-hush. I'm going to make new drapes for the firehouse, and if I have any left, cross your fingers, I'm going to make everyone matching mauve pillow cozies.
Those are civic improvements.
Don't be such a party pooper, Steve.
Whoa.
We're talking about art. Besides, we haven't had a fire in Harvest since the newspaper building burned down. Though I'll admit that the Wasp Woman's place is one big accident waiting to happen.
The Wasp
Isn't
Woman?
that right, Spots?
These little video clips are awesome. I don't remember anything about that Wasp Woman. It's been a long time since I played this. I know, Shane, you always were a kidder, John. Let's see, is this game's version of It's Just a Tragedy? That's all it was. Ooh, I wonder if Unavowed took tips from this game. Probably not. Art! I love it. That's a very uneven arse. Smash cut to artistic butt, and then dog panting. Okay, let's ask about that art.
Art enriches the community, Steve. No less than a pulsing fire hose or a fireman beating down a blazing door. So what if we're drawing a nude man? So what if all we ever draw is a nude man, or the same nude man over and over in all sorts of provocative positions? Context, not content. Process, not subject. Don't be so gauche, Steve. It's beneath you.
Provocative. I loved how he said that. It's just an art style, Blaze. Yeah, I don't know why, but that's the funniest sentence right now, right? Just bam! But. Whoa. Sounded like a car just crashed. Is that part of the music? What the hell was that? Okay, what about that newspaper fire?
A dreadful affair. You wouldn't think that a brick and steel building with a sprinkler system could go up that quickly.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That was me, all pepper. They're too busy painting and doing drapes to put out fires. So you think it was arson. I don't want to clown on them this early. Because when you piss people off, they don't talk to you anymore. So let's go with, you think it was arson.
Oh, please. Dwayne was glad enough to see the thing go up. And so was McKnight. If you could get into that safe in his wall... Forget it. Look, Steve, as far as I know, the fire was an accident. Let's just leave it at that.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Now don't you go moving.
Awkward. Okay, so there's a safe in the wall over by, Rage. Just like life. Hi, Spider. Whatchamacallit. There's a safe in the wall at McKnight's. I think that's the TV station. Rage. Okay, what about the Wasp Woman? We haven't seen her yet.
Some people think all we do is sit around, fetching examples of manhood for our own amusement. Nothing could be further from the truth. Why, Just the other day, we cited Ted through a crumb for fire code violations. All the dried out paper wasp nests clustered around our wooden house. Why, it's a chem log just waiting for the right faggot. Believe me, none of us wants to see another fiasco like the Sentinel fire.
Alright, in that context, you use the word in a way that doesn't get you banned. It wasn't a derogatory use of that word. He was talking about, like, a cigarette, right? Let's see, Sparky's voice reminds me of the Looney Tunes Yeti. I shall pet him and hug him and call him George. Yes, I can hear that, Blaze. And we already asked about the newspaper fire. I wonder if he has anything else to say.
Dreadful.
Oh, maybe we can... Let's see what happens when we answer with this. Let's see, that's not a word for cigarette. I thought it was. No, it's a bundle of sticks. That's right. What am I thinking of that was cigarette? I thought there was another term for that.
Art enriches the community, Steve. No less than a pulsing fire hose.
Oh, we already heard this. I guess he says the same thing regardless. Oh, not the full word, just like singular. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Can I talk to the male model?
I don't converse on the job, Steve.
Okay.
I don't converse on the job, Steve.
I guess we'll talk to this guy.
Don't bother me, I'm sketching. Oh, look what you made me do! Stop it, you're messing me up!
He's all business. So is this guy.
Stop it!
Alright. An accident just waiting to happen. So this fire department has 2 huge fireplaces. He does have a pretty nice mustache. A well-endowed nude man standing in the moonlight. A picture of a storybook fairy castle. A photorealistic mural of a peaceful countryside. A picture of a phallic-like structure standing all in a row. An impressionistic landscape. So it's not just guys. They do other art as well. Can I look at their art? I don't think so. Let's see. I judge the quality of a fire department entirely on the quality of its mustaches. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Same thing with lumberjacks, right? And we're at slur count 2. Well, honestly, I'm surprised we're only that far, Blaze. See, so are any of you surprised this is my favorite location? As soon as you said that, Relentless, I was like, I know why. I can tell. This is awesome. I mean, it's just so offensively stereotypic that it's like not offensive. Does that make sense? Like, it's not slyly trying. It's so on the head you can't help but laugh. I'm surprised the walls aren't entirely adorned in men. Like, actual living men. Considering how creepy everything is. Okay, so there's only a couple places we haven't been to. Let's go to the Wayward Hotel. What does that say? Vacancy? 1908. I was gonna say, oh, that's a common number, but I was thinking of 1408. A pretty cheap-looking sign for such an uptown establishment. Now, if I remember correctly, doesn't the same person that owns this hotel also run the cemetery? I think that's what the sheriff told us. Pun intended, maybe. And the pulsating fire hoses. Let's see, reflections make the lobby seem more spacious than it actually is. What do you mean, seem more spacious? Look at this thing. This area is huge. There's a flyer. The PTA bake sales on Friday, we knew that. A ledger of names, the last being Jonathan A. Rhincliffe, checked in Monday. This is the same music, I think, from the diner, if I remember right.
Stephen.
Who are you?
I am Daniel Moynihan, mortician and proprietor of the Wayward Hotel.
Most people ask me why I don't remember their names.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
There it is.
Besides, as one who deals with the dead, I try not to involve myself in the affairs of the living. Your loss of memory is of no concern to me, true or false. Ironic, considering my recent involvement in a charity event.
What are you talking about?
My complaints were central to the scheduling of the upcoming Harvest Bake Sale. I'm gratified the Order of the Harvest Moon got involved. The proceeds will certainly help cover my losses.
Let's see, Price, thank you for the host. I thought you were already hosting me, but thank you for the double host. And the kitchen. The kitchen had the same music, huh? Maybe they ran out of budget. How could they? This is like 10-star production values here. Let's see. I try not to involve myself in the affairs of the living, but he runs a hotel. How can he not? Let's see. Sorry, I had a raid in my channel. Oh, no worries at all, Price. Thank you very much, dude. Let's see. My man, you are running a building that caters to one of the primary needs of a person. Shelter. Like, living people need that. Okay, let's ask him about the bake sale. How is this guy not evil? Come on.
This bake sale is a joint effort of the Harvest PTA and the Order of the Harvest Moon. The proceeds will be used to set up a fund for transients. In other words, bums and societal rejects without families who wander into Harvest uninvited.
Then the Order is setting up shelters for the homeless?
Not shelters. Graves.
This is messed up.
You see a great number of these hobos die while passing through. Don't ask me why, it's what those people do. Use your common sense, Stephen, memory or no. If they were involved in setting up homeless shelters, then why would I be involved? And why would I be sustaining losses?
Why are you sustaining losses?
It seems that, like some elephant's graveyard, people of low station come to Harvest to die. They simply drop dead, penniless. They all need
because no one can pay for the burials.
God knows, by putting these people up at the Wayward Hotel, I do more than my fair share. So why must I pay for the coffins and burial materials as well? My losses to the dead are substantial. Hopefully the bake sale will offset some of them.
Dude, it sucks to be this guy. Loan me your jaunty hat. That's a huge top hat. I've had like some smaller top hats for Halloween costumes, but nothing that big. Let's see, I assume this is going to be a normal length stream. Yes, Blaze. Unfortunately, I do have to work tomorrow, so we got a good 30 minutes or so left. Let's see, I don't know. He looks pretty hipster for a mortician. You gotta remember, this is like 1995, 1996. So, hipster wasn't really a thing back then. He's just evil. That'd be like a bad guy. Let's see. Let's see, this is my normal attire. I've seen you dress that snazzy on 2 occasions, maybe 3 occasions, Spider. Lurk Move, thank you for the lurk price. I really appreciate it, dude. Let's see, I usually never want these to end, but I'm so tired right now. I really need to sleep. Yeah, don't worry, we won't be going super late. Let's see, and why were top hats made in the first place? Prestige? Probably. I mean, remember they used to, like, the women would have their hair all huge, and while it looks ridiculous, that was like a statue of, like, wealth and stuff. Let's see, when you work in the industry, it's always better to be a mortician than a lestician. Who wants to be a lestician? Is that a word? That might be an actual word, a lestician. I like it. Okay. Did we ask him about the baker's sale? I don't think so.
This bake sale is a joint effort of the Harvest PTA and the Order of the Harvest Moon. The proceeds will be used to set up a fund for transients. In other words, bums and societal rejects without families who wander into Harvest uninvited.
So
then the Order is setting up shelters for the homeless?
Wait, maybe we did hear this.
Not shelters.
Yeah, we heard that part. So what's with, why are people coming here and dying? Like, that doesn't make sense.
As always, the Order of the Harvest Moon has taken the lead in addressing our societal ills. Through their sponsorship of the blood drive and the bake sale, the Lodge ensures that all our needs are met.
The Lodge is so good.
Such as?
Pardon me, there are corpses to prepare. And my losses have been substantial of late.
Dodging the question.
If you're sincerely interested in the Order, however, you should stop by the Lodge and speak with the Sergeant-at-Arms.
Why should I be interested, Mr. Moynihan?
Of all the spots in Harvest, the Lodge is the most prominent, literally and figuratively. It is the ambition of everyone here to join. And join you must to attain wisdom.
What kind of wisdom?
If I knew, I'd be a member. I have the feeling you have what it takes to join the Order, Stephen.
We haven't met anyone
We
there.
all believe that. Whether or not you live up to your potential is up to you.
I don't think we've actually met anyone that was part of the lodge. They just keep talking about it. Let's see, I miss bake sales, peanut butter squares. Oh, I just love anything peanut butter, but yes, peanut butter squares are amazing. Let's see, dying homeless people, blood drive. Wait, hold on. And all that food at the butcher? Where did they get all that meat, Pepper? Let's see, the Catholic Church does the same thing. The bigger the hat, the more important the guy. Huge for the Pope. Huge hat. Huge sombrero parties in heaven. Nothing beats a huge sombrero. Or a big, like, Texas, like, Western hat. Those are massive. Okay, I think we're done talking to this guy.
I'd say it's been a pleasure, but I find the company of the living so wearisome.
Would you agree to that, Relentless? Efficient, if nothing else. Oh, there's a radio back here. The somewhat ponderous console radio evokes an earlier era. This door is locked. I can't seem to go anywhere else in here, so I think we're gonna have to come back here later. You know I do, John. When you were saying that you identify with that, I'm like, I know Relentless is identifying with that right now. Okay, so we were here. Let's check out the cemetery. Holy crap, so I think this is the lodge in the background right there. I don't think that's part of the cemetery. Yeah, see, it has that little symbol. We see that on all the buildings. Examine the tombstone. Here lies Boxcar Willie. Oh, do we have to look at every single one of these? Or just some of them? The air here reeks of fresh soil and manure. We'll examine the grave. A headstone of this grave site reads Jonathan A. Rhinecliffe. Oh, hold on. We saw Rhinecliffe's name on the ledger in the hotel that he had just checked in that day. Why is he buried here right now? See, I gotta go for the night. Thank you for the stream. Hope you have fun. Dude, Pepper, thank you so much for hanging out. Have a fantastic night. Get some good sleep, and hopefully we'll see you on Thursday. See, the asylum. That would be a huge asylum, Spider. Oh, that kind of surprised me. Forgot there was lightning there. Let's see, maybe he really doesn't deal with the living. He just gets rid of the living. I'm wondering, do you think maybe we can use our rage lightning? Do you think we can use our shovel on this grave? Check this out real quick.
Damn it. Well, that didn't work.
Oh.
Well, that didn't work.
Well, never mind. I was like, that looks fresh. Yet another resting place amongst the graves. Interesting way to describe a picnic table. Yeah, that's why I kind of tried it, Relentless. There is a time where I think we do need to do something similar. The marble doors have been sealed shut. Like, I've played the game, but I don't remember all the details, so some of the puzzles might come to me, and some of them I'm going to be asking you guys for help. Steve was never a grave, or has never robbed a grave before. How lame. He always was a kidder. Not a grave robber, just a kidder. The leaning sycamore is dead rotten, unstable for climbing or stringing nooses. Why the hell would you go there, Steve? Like, if you see a tree that's like falling apart, do you immediately think, that tree doesn't look like it's fit for a noose? It's just weird. Not just the people here that are weird, it's also Steve. Like, I assume that's all his inner monologue. Oh, we can't go that way. Check out that walking animation. The marble doors have been sealed shut. Alright. I guess we can't do anything here yet. I like the music here. Are you implying Steve isn't a person? I was thinking maybe he is more normal than everybody else here, you know? But when I say people, I mean like all the nuts in this town, I guess. Which is pretty much everybody, except for the little girl. The little girl at the restaurant seemed pretty cool. Her voice was a little grating. Steve is just Steve. I mean, isn't the first thing anyone does when they see a tree is to estimate it whether it's fit for a noose? Karen, thank you. Yeah, it's Karen. Sure, John. Backtrack all you want. We know you believe Steve is less than a person. Subhuman Steve. He always was a kidder. Okay, so we have the Johnson residence and abandoned house. I think this is... I think that's where we need to go. Let's check out the Johnson residence. This is the creepy guy that was bugging Edna at the diner, I think. Nice car. Examine the Tucker. During the day, Mr. Johnson keeps watch over his precious 48 Tucker. Steve has the urge to paint. Don't be a Steve-cist, John. You always were a Steve-cist. Yes, Edna's admirer. Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson erected an impenetrable fortress to protect his Tucker during the night. Check out that garage.
Hello, Steve. How's the husband-to-be?
Oh.
Other than having no memory, I guess I'm all right.
He's got crazy eyes.
All right? You should be ecstatic, considering what you're getting into, if you haven't gotten into it already.
Oh.
Speaking of which, I heard Stephanie was grounded. Her daddy's worried about getting his meat. Though if I were him, I'd be more concerned about Stephanie getting some meat.
Right. And you are...
So
you
bad.
always were a kidder, Steve.
There it is.
I'm Mr. Johnson, remember? Glad you stopped by. Just got finished waxing the Tucker. I could use a little relaxation. But since Edna's not here, I might as well talk to you.
Guys, so many awkward conversations. We need a cringe counter. Meat and Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson's a meat. Alright, let's ask him about Edna, because I think we might be able to help Edna from this guy. Erected? Impenetrable?
Edna Fitzpatrick is one of the snootiest women in town.
Oh.
I declare there isn't a woman in Harvest that turned me away. If I was interested, that is.
Oh.
Just because she owns DNAs, she's got all these highfalutin ideas about independence. And her with a little girl to raise. That child needs a father. And Edna, well, she needs a good, hard penis.
Whoa. Whoa, dude. Jesus. That's what I was thinking, Blaze. That's ridiculous. Okay. So, he's like pissed at her because she keeps rejecting his advances. Pen 15.
Karen's only 5 years old. Since Mr. Fitzpatrick passed away, in Edna's arms and legs, I might add, Edna's been raising Karen on her own. What a shame. To deprive a little girl of a positive male role model. And her mama of a fine, stiff penis.
It just keeps going there. Just keeps going there. What is it with this guy and stiff penises? One thing I noticed that was kind of clever, he said that she owns DNAs. Like, he wasn't smart enough to notice that the E was, like, not working on that neon light, so he said DNAs when it's actually Dina's. Or Edna's, sorry. Guy sounds a little gay, if you ask me. He should go to the fire department and hang out with those guys. Are we sure he isn't a retired fireman? I don't think we know what he did for a living. What am I watching? I like it. The most messed up game we'll probably ever stream, Spider Monkey. I don't know of any game weirder than this. And Karen isn't 5, she's 8. Let's ask about penis. It's one of the options. How many games have this as like a dialogue option? Not very many.
What makes you so sure she needs a penis?
You saying Edna's getting it from someone else?
Ooh.
Like maybe that damn Sheriff Dwayne? He's over at DNA's diner every day from noon to 1, eating his dadgum pie. And I got a feeling he'd like Edna for dessert.
Ooh.
Sure, it's the only diner in town, but I'm sure he's got more on his mind than food.
See, I think this is the weirdest game I've played, and I'm not sure I can top it, or would want to. Shane, if I ever find a game weirder than this, I'm going to let you know, because you're very similar to me in that we like to play a lot of odd games, just something unique. I've never seen anything quite like this. See, I was talking about the option in the menu. Oh yeah, needed to include the... I thought you were saying that you were greater than penis, Blaze. Okay, I think one of these is maybe new. I think we asked about Edna. We didn't ask about Edna's Diner, though.
I'll admit DNA's diner does good business. But money isn't everything to a woman. Can money keep you warm at night?
Here it comes.
Can you wrap your thighs around it? Or rake bloody gashes in its back with your painted hollowed fingernails? Edna? Edna! So, how's Stephanie?
Well, that was a quick turnaround, wasn't it?
Speaking of Stephanie, I still haven't gotten an invitation to the wedding yet.
What a shocker.
I don't have anything to do with that.
That's okay. Personally, I'd prefer a pass to the honeymoon.
Ew.
You could use the back seat of my Tucker for the maiden voyage. It's plenty big. Believe you me. I'd drive you around. And I wouldn't look in the back seat. I guarantee it.
Oh my god.
Though if you'd like to come up front and take the wheel a while, I wouldn't say nay.
McCage, how's it going? What a terrible suggestion. How about no? I hate it. So you should play the Leisure Suit Larry Goes Looking for Love in several wrong places. You know, I have, I think like 5 or 6 of those games. I bought a pack of them, Spider, but I've never actually played any of the Leisure Suit games. Alright, I don't know. Are those games streamable, or do they actually have any kind of like cartoon nudity? Yeah, worst possible time to join. I apologize, McCage. Okay, what about that Tucker?
Heck of an automobile, isn't she? Damn shame I have to sit out here and watch over her all the time. But if I didn't, those stupid kids might scratch her up playing ball.
Put it in the garage. If that's a real Tucker, I can understand your concern.
Hell yes, it's real. I wouldn't be so protective of her if she was just a reproduction. I'm mighty particular about my Tucker. I had the garage remodeled like a fortress, so I could lock her up at night and get some sleep.
I'm sure she's safe enough inside.
A few months back, someone broke into my house, trying to get into the garage.
Oh.
I had to gripe like hell before the sheriff agreed to start the evening patrols and instigate the curfew.
Oh, there's a curfew. Okay. See, what do you mean? We're just chatting about stiff penises and how the guy wants to bang our girlfriend. Totally normal. Nothing weird here. See, I saw someone else play the Leisure Suit Larry games. I was surprised at how good the humor is. In one, Larry tries to get money by entering a contest for $1 million. He wins, but gets a single $1 million bill that everyone refuses to break for him. I mean, those don't exist, but that's freaking awesome. I love that joke. Okay, I think we've already asked him about everything.
Bye now.
Yeah, don't ever show me those eyes again, please. So we have to get in the garage somehow. Obviously not with him here. Oh, there's a manhole cover we can look at. The manhole cover is locked in place. A nasty stench drifts up from the sewers below. So that's probably going to be useful later. Let's see, those are the standard small talk topics. When I'm on a cash register, I always ask the customer if they have a nice, stiff penis and if they want me to bang them. It's just good customer service. I mean, you gotta, you know, just casually introduce that in the conversation. Totally normal. You don't want to upset them if you didn't talk about it. They might be hurt. Wins by cheating. The person taking the ticket's blind. Alright. So that was Johnson. Now I know what the problem is for poor Edna. Let's check out the abandoned house. Oh, is this where the wasp lady is? I hear a bunch of bees or something. Probably wasps. The attic window is the perfect nesting ground for wasps. Speaking of wasps, we should save it. Just in case. I don't know which one I saved to last. Could we please finish after the abandoned house? I'm barely hanging on. I think after that there's only one more place and then we've looked everywhere, so that'll probably be a good place to call it. I think this one's real short. Examine the weeds. This place could use a gardener. Oh. Yeah, there's like wasps' nests everywhere. The icebox is sealed shut with wasps' nests. Nice. And oh, poor Edna McCade. Let's see. I always save when wasps are near. It's a good plan. You don't want to get killed by wasps. A rather colorful picture of a wasp. From the sound of it, these cabinets are infested with wasps. Yeah, who the F is that? Well, she is called Wasp Lady for a reason, not just because she looks like a wasp.
It's not often that I get visitors.
I wonder why.
I am Tetsuo Crumb. The ignorant of harvest called me the Wasp Woman. A pejorative, no doubt. Born of fear and a poverty of imagination.
I don't understand.
The politics of honey. The Judeo-Christian rites of sacrifice and conventional taboos against unbridled pleasure are all responsible for the prejudice against wasps.
Alright, I'm just gonna say this. I'm not a fan of wasps. Wasps can be assholes. I've been stung by wasps before. They're not like bees. They don't need to be like threatened to attack. They just sting you because they can. And they don't die afterwards. They just keep going. This is making me itchy. Let's see, I really want to play Assassin's Creed Origins. It's in ancient Egypt. I haven't played the last like 3 Assassin's Creed games, I think. Actually, I think the last one I played was Black Flag. So how do you feel about the politics of honey, John? I actually have a coworker whose wife does honey, like as like a side hobby, you know? And I actually just got a batch recently, but I haven't tried it yet. So right now I'm all about the politics of honey. Tetsuo Crumb, good name, but the lady, or belady, you need to call in the pest controller. I think she likes it.
The politics of honey are intertwined with the age-old struggle of the aesthetic versus the commercial. Because I choose to raise wasps instead of bees, I'm frowned upon by the community.
For good reason.
Why? Well, raising bees is acceptable because they produce honey. But sometimes it's not what is produced, so much as what is performed.
I don't see any particular use for wasps.
Why must everything have a use? Is money always the determining factor? More slender, more aerodynamic than the bee. The wasp is a joy to behold.
Hey, it's got the symbol.
Beautiful and juicy. Isn't that enough to compensate for the little drawbacks?
So are those not like real wasps? What's up with that? Let's see, Tetsuo Crumb sounds like an anime character name. She is the farthest thing from an anime character. Let's see. I always save when wasps are close. Or white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Save when they're close too. You don't know what's going to happen. I noticed that too, Spider. The wallpaper does kind of look like a honeycomb, huh? Okay, why wasps?
Regard the wasp. Wasps produce nothing for others, but only for themselves. Wasps build nests and more wasps, nothing more. They spread into eaves and attics, not to make honey for supermarkets, but to buzz and rustle on their own paper, perpetuating their own agenda, growing stealthily Surely.
Sound like a bunch of
The
jerks.
most relentless of insects.
Relentless. Drawbacks. A lot of drawbacks.
Well, as you can see, the little darlings do love to sting. Another source of prejudice for the masses, and another reason to love them. Bees are like animals. They sting only for a reason, for sacrifice. They have no conception of individual sensation, of pleasure.
It's kind of an interesting dialogue we're having with her. Because bees do kill themselves when they sting you. I knew it. Relentless as a wasp. Bees are animals, lady.
When a bee stings, it rips itself apart and dies for its audacity. This appeals to those raised worshipping a god that demands sacrifice and atonement.
This is getting deep.
But the wasp is promiscuous.
Giggity.
They are not as sympathetic to the masses because they don't die when they sting. They live to sting another day, and they take pleasure from it.
Does this sound like you, Relentless? Are you like, yep, yep?
Yes, a great deal of pleasure. The wasp is a sensual being, not a laborer, hedonistic instead of industrial. Some think them quick to anger. In truth, they are easily swayed to ecstasy. They penetrate your flesh, and the muscular contractions in their thorax as they pump venom could be likened to the muscular contractions of ejaculation.
It's getting awkward, too.
Each painful welt, an act of love.
I don't want their love. Okay, I think we've asked her about everything. Yeah, wasps like to come in you. Is that what I'm hearing? Adult quality wasp time. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. I don't think there's anything else for us to do. This game is obsessed with it. An old car is the perfect nesting ground for wasps. Let's not go anywhere near that. Let's see, if I ever need to kill a boner, I'll just listen to the sound to this sound clip. Okay, so now the Potsdam residence. This is a guy, I guess the father here can't get into the lodge. He's tried multiple times. And I think his daughter is the woman we're supposed to be marrying. Come on, John. They just want to love you. Apparently, I've been loved by wasps before. I don't like it. Not a fan. It was funny. I was a kid, and I was walking around the backyard, and I had a donut in my hand. I don't know why I didn't just eat it in the house, but I had a donut outside. And I guess I got too close to a wasp nest, and they wanted the sugar. They really went for it. So they jumped on my arm, and one of them kept stinging me over and over. Probably got me like 3 or 4 times until I tossed the donut. And that's when the wasp left. Bastard stole my donut. I was like 8 or something at the time. Yeah, they want that sugar. Some sugar, baby. Okay, the garage needs a new paint job. The overhead window is shaped like a wagon wheel. The glass is so clear the reflection makes it difficult to see. It sounds like everybody's watching the same television show. Her eye is very uncomfortable. I'm sorry, Janie. This guy looks like he could work at the butcher shop. Top story. Local boy gets robbed by a donut from a wasp swarm. The most boring story. Maybe if we lived in a town like this, that would actually be like a top story.
There he is, my future son-in-law.
Oh,
and
boy.
how's he doing today? What brings him to the Potsdam household? Huh? Huh?
I have to call this guy Dad. Hey, give me the donut, child. Gosh, do we tell him we lost our memory? Or do I say I came over to see Stephanie? I want to say that.
Oh, you'll have to ask the missus about that. Stephanie's grounded to the wedding. Can't have her changing her mind at the last minute. Not with all that meat at stake.
Relentless. How dare you? That was pretty funny. Would you prefer to calling him Daddy? No, I would not. Yeah, why is Stephanie grounded? What did she do? We don't know. Hey, what about my father?
I haven't seen my father. He's locked in a room.
He's not going to die, is he?
Like I said, I don't know. That woman, Mom, tends to him herself.
Well, next time you see him, be sure to tell him that I said hello. And tell him that I'm praying for his speedy recovery. And also, would you remind him about the meat? Especially about the meat.
Yeah, fine. If I see him.
I think this guy likes
You
meat.
should be more concerned. If he dies, then who's going to take over the slaughterhouse? Who's going to tend to the meat? I guess as his son, you'd take over. Right?
What about the meat? I mean, I love meat, but I'm not this obsessed. I know, don't forget about the meat. Let's see, I am obligated to make a daddy joke whenever an opportunity presents itself. I have a feeling that anytime anything uncomfortable happens in games now, we're also going to bring up adult quality time. Meat doesn't sound like a word anymore. We've ruined the word.
I can't imagine a better job than working in a slaughterhouse.
Except they slaughter cats. I think working in a slaughterhouse might be cool.
Sure, it'd be just dandy. And you can't argue with success. Everyone in Harvest gets their meat from your dad. What a grand business to go into.
But where does Dad get his meat?
Oh, sure. Cutting animals open may not be much fun. Reaching into their bodies and yanking out the bloody guts, intestines dangling
Ew.
and slapping against you. The
Joel
smell
Shenka,
of death
how's it
and
going?
shit in your nostrils all the time. Well, those are all definite cons. But once you're done, the guts have been washed into
Jesus
the gutters.
Christ, what was that?
What are you left with? Meat. Rows and rows of scrumptious red meat.
Was that just me, or did you hear that? I don't know if my headphones just went out, or what that was, but that was awful. You guys heard it too? I don't know, it almost sounded like that weird noise you get when you unplug a sound into your computer, you know, like that weird staticky sound. But I think that was the game. It's you, but we heard it too. I apologize, headphone users. It nearly destroyed my earbuds too. Okay, we already asked about father. Did we already tell him about meat? I feel like we did, but maybe not.
Meat is the foundation of any decent society. Everyone needs at least 3 servings of red meat a day. And anyone who says otherwise is a commie.
Hey, commie.
And once you're married to Stephanie, I'll be part of the family too. And your father will give me all the meat I want. Kind of makes up for not getting into the lodge.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that either, Shane, but it's been years since I played this game. This is a Steam version. Ew, Relentless, your father will give me all the meat I want. Okay, so what about the lodge? He said he couldn't get in there.
Why are you so anxious to get into the lodge?
Brandon, how's it
There's
going?
wonders inside. I've heard there's more meat in there than they know what to do with. Now that you're of age, Steve, you might go down to the post office and fill out a lodge application.
I tried.
They're always looking for new blood.
They don't have any applications. Let's see, this game is such a piss take out of the dumbest and most loathsome aspects of American politics and culture. Gunshots? Nice. Good job with that clip. Thank you, Droll. I want to go back and listen to it because I don't know what the hell that was. It really sounded like when you unplug a cord in your sound card on the back of your computer. You always get like a little static right away. Marriage.
Tell me about this wedding.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to hold the wedding down at the funeral parlor, since I'm not a member of the lodge.
Way to go, Dad.
Mr. Moynihan has given his okay, and your father is going to cater the affair with plenty of meat.
Plenty of cat. It's certainly someone I don't want to meet. Hell no, Janie. So he beats his meat to meat. Essentially relentless. And Mr. Moynihan, this is the guy that owns the mortuary.
Moynihan is the undertaker. He also runs the Wayward Hotel. Since he's providing the space for the wedding, you might stop by and say hello to him just to be sociable. But whatever you do, be sure to say hi to your father for me. Will you do that? Tell him hi and remind him of the meat.
Always remind him of the meat. Okay, I think we've done everything. Yeah, I don't want to call him Dad or Daddy, but look at this picture he has. I kind of want one of these for the living room. It's just a big steak being held up by two hands. The man of the house squeezing his meat. God damn it, game. Why? I like how that clip is the biggest scare reaction we've gotten out of John. Honestly, Nate, either that or possibly the one time when I was playing Detention and you guys used a jump sound, but you guys didn't hear it because the game was muted. But my reaction was pretty authentic. So you should hang a picture of you holding your meat on the wall, John. Like right behind me so it's on stream. Maybe like a tri-tip. I cook a lot of tri-tip.
Hello, Steve. Have you flossed today?
Is that the first thing that you come up with? Have you flossed? Oh, you look just like my mom, except the hair. Or I like to see, what's her name? Stephanie. No, that's against TOS. They don't allow steaks on stream. I love steak.
Well, Stephanie is grounded, Steve.
Why?
I'm sure I don't know. Mr. Poston has sent her to her room, and in her room she'll stay until Mr. Poston says otherwise. Probably until the wedding.
So is this the same actress that plays our mom? Yeah, it depends on what we mean by John's meat. You can throw your meat on my grill anytime. Well, hi, Spider. Lewd. Lewd.
Tell me about this wedding.
Well, it's set for 3 weeks. We're holding it over at Shady Oaks, Mr. Moynihan's funeral parlor.
So fancy.
Say what?
Now, I know it's not a very romantic place, but there's nowhere else to hold it. Thanks to Mr. Potsdam.
All because your husband couldn't get in there. We have to have it in a shitty place. What? Like the Potsdam Declaration. What's the Potsdam Declaration? Okay, Mr. Moynihan.
Mr. Moynihan runs the Wayward Hotel and the Shady Oaks funeral parlor. It's rumored he has connections with the lodge, but the order keeps that kind of thing secret. So Mr. Poston has tried to get him to put in a good word for his lodge application, but so far...
He's never getting in there. Let's see, the Potsdam Declaration, or the proclamation defining terms for the Japanese surrender, was a statement that called for the surrender of all Japanese armed forces during World War II. Something makes me think that this game wasn't that deep. But maybe.
What can you tell me about the lodge?
Just that they're exclusive and secretive. If you're curious, you ought to pick up a lodge application at the post office and
What is
take
that
it over to the
noise?
Sergeant-at-Arms. Isn't that a thought? Forget Mr. Potsdam. If you became a member of the order, we could hold the wedding inside the lodge. My, wouldn't that be lovely?
But if it's so secretive, do they let everybody go in there? Yeah, it sounds like a weird static noise, almost like they're cooking meat on the grill. Like it kind of sounds like meat they're flipping over. Okay, Mr. Potsdam.
You mustn't be too hard on Mr. Potsdam, Steve. He's a disappointed man. No matter how many lodge admission forms he fills out, they keep turning him down. He has a new application in, though, so keep your fingers crossed. If he joins the lodge, you and Stephanie can have your wedding in the Chapel of Love, rather than over at Moynihan's place.
I think we're getting in the lodge before he does. Okay, I think we asked about everything here.
Give my regards to your parents.
The entire kitchen has a minty fresh look and scent. See, who's playing the theremin in the background? Is that what that sounds called? It sounds like very old-timey alien sci-fi to me. Let's see, the entire kitchen... Oh, we already heard that. The icebox is locked. Why would you lock your refrigerator? The cabinets has a minty fresh look and scent. Everything is very clean in here. I want to go upstairs. I knew it. Let's see, I always assumed the static was supposed to be like an old radio losing reception, but honestly it could just be an issue with the MIDI synth. With their budget, you never know.
Sorry. You'll have to ask Mrs. Potsdam for permission to see Stephanie. She's in the kitchen.
I just did. Let's try again. Maybe now it cues it. I can actually ask.
Hello, dear. Come to see Stephanie, have you?
Yes, please.
She's upstairs. Go right on up.
All right.
Just remember, she's grounded until the wedding.
See, that's me. I'm actually playing the saw. Do you use like a real, like a
Give
saw
my regards
blade
to your parents.
to make that weird noise? All right, upstairs we go. Please, John. I think we're almost at the end, Blaze. There's one scene I wanted to get through. She's purty. The picture on the wall is hanging a bit crooked. The medicine cabinet reeks of various toiletries. We haven't interacted with something in a while. Got a headache? This aspirin should do the trick. Yoink. A jar of extra strength Oralube, great for getting in and out of tight spots. Yoink. 1 hour cough medicine. Yoink. Warning, yeast disinfectant, not to be used for baking cookies. Can't yoink that. Toothpaste, be sure to roll up the tube from the bottom. Tampon. Better ask Stephanie about these. Yoink. New zippy vitamins will pick you up. Yoink. Dental floss, 300 yards of it. Can't take that. Examine band-aids, a scattering of band-aids. Can't take those. Yeah, I think we got everything. Just steal all their stuff. I mean, if, what's her name? Oh, why can't I think of the character from Blackwell? Laura was the older one. Who was the younger one? Rosa, that's it. If Rosa can steal everything, don't you think Steve would? Rosangela, that's right. A thin layer of hair coats virtually every inch of ceramic, and the rubber ducky has seen better days. Can't take the rubber ducky. The towels are stiff as boards. That's gross. Wads of used tissues fill the trash can. Some of them are stuck to the sides. What is going on in here? Feels like coarse sandpaper. It'd be painful to wipe with this stuff. That's the toilet paper. Let's see, not to take right away or anything, but just in case he needs it for a puzzle. Exactly. You never know what you're gonna need in these games. You have to basically take anything that's not nailed down. There's a plaque. This plaque has had its metal plate removed. Which room is it? Here it is. There's Stephanie.
Who are you? What are you doing in my room?
Haven't you heard? We're getting married.
So, you're the one. Steve, isn't it?
Oh, she doesn't know us.
You mean you don't know me?
I mean, I don't know anyone. I don't remember anything. How many times do I have to say it?
Just one, Stephanie, because I can't remember a damn thing either.
Really? Oh God, I thought it was just me.
It makes two of us.
You're not alone. Can you tell me what's going on here?
Those people downstairs have locked me in my room. They say I'm grounded until the wedding.
Let's see, this is why I love visiting other people's houses. Their cabinets always have the best loot. Especially in the bathroom. Nobody goes in there with you. You can take everything. Okay, those people.
They claim to be my parents. I can't dispute it because I can't remember for sure one way or the other, but it doesn't feel right.
I know what you mean. I don't belong here. Or no one will believe that I have amnesia. I'm gonna try to, like, be sympathetic to her.
Do you have any idea where you do belong?
No, but I'm fairly sure I don't belong in Harvest.
Yeah. I can't remember anything, but I feel in my heart that the woman downstairs is not my mother. She's like this thing, like a parody, a bad joke with mother as the punchline. Does that make any sense?
Let it be known that John has officially endorsed stealing from other people's bathrooms. No, just kidding. Don't do this at home, kids. I'm gonna say I understand. We're in the same boat as her.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who sees it that way. I thought I was going crazy.
Join the club. But we can't both be crazy, Stephanie.
Either way, something really weird is going on here. I've got to escape, and so do you. Because in a way, whether you know it or not, I think we're both grounded.
Dang it, Nate. Always finding a hole in my logic. And Spider, meat slap will jog the memories. What kind of meat? Okay, we're both grounded.
It's been hell. They treat me well, but they won't let me leave this room. Not even to go out in the yard. Not until the wedding.
That'd drive me
They won't
crazy.
tell you why?
Each one blames the other for grounding me. They make up different excuses. Different things I did, none of which I remember. So I sit up here, watch the world outside my window, and listen to the noises in the house.
Noises? Let's see, have you heard or seen anything that might help us figure this out?
Every morning, a weird boy comes to the house and picks up the paper.
We met him.
He doesn't deliver the paper. He picks up scrap paper that Miss Potsdam sets out on the porch for him. Some mornings she forgets, and the boy gets furious. He gives me the creeps.
Anything else you can tell me?
I hear these weird scraping sounds in the bathroom sometimes. Like something is sliding along the wall. Claws, maybe. And Mr. Potsdam. I don't like the way my dear daddy looks at me.
Yeah.
Both of them are always watching me. But especially him.
You don't think they're dangerous, do you?
I think this whole place is dangerous. I think we've got to escape. Before it's too late.
Okay. Are we gonna... Well, let's ask about the wedding. Mr. Potsdam is daddy confirmed. That kind of daddy.
The wedding is only 3 weeks away. Not much time to get to know each other, is it?
Suddenly, the idea of a wedding doesn't seem so bad. Or, don't worry about the wedding. It isn't gonna happen. Which one do you guys want to do? This might change something in the game. I'm not 100% sure. Number 2. Escape Starry Stephanie. I'm not going anywhere without the meat. Don't forget the meat. Alright, let's go with 2. Suddenly, it doesn't seem so bad.
Thanks. But I wouldn't marry anyone with things, you know, as they are.
Oh.
Yeah, well, they can't force us to go through with it. If it comes down to it, we just won't take the vows.
I don't think anything in Harvest is that simple. Too many people are determined that we get hitched.
Why?
Potsdam wants the meat your father promised him. Your parents want to force you to settle down. Mrs. Potsdam wants to have the wedding in the lodge. Me? I just want to escape.
Okay. What about the lodge?
Everything in Harvest seems to revolve around this damned lodge. This Order of the Harvest Moon. They're responsible for this insane bake sale that's coming, and for the Harvest Blood Drive, too. When people talk about the lodge, it's always in this hushed, reverent tone. Mom keeps telling me that women can't join, but she keeps pressuring me to get you to join.
She's not the only one who wants me to sign on with the lodge.
That's probably the worst thing you could do.
You think the lodge is some kind of trap?
I think all of Harvest is a trap.
If that's true, maybe joining the lodge is the way out.
Look, why not explore the town a little? I can't get out of here, but if I could, that's what I'd do. Maybe you can figure out what's happening here without going anywhere near the lodge.
You're really afraid of the lodge, aren't you?
I look at that building, all lit up at night, and I get scared.
She's the only one that makes sense.
I mean, look at the damn thing. Seem like a harmless bunch of Masons to you?
I think that's the first time anyone actually talked in a video in this game. Is Lady Gaga going to pop out in her meat suit? Wouldn't that be so appropriate? Except I think this is about 15 years before the meat suit thing happened. Okay, how are we going to escape?
Escape?
Harvest is a prison, Steve. Don't forget that.
I think you're right. Let's see, the kid who got wrecked asked a question in a video. Oh, that's right, Nate. I forgot about that kid. Baseball right to the head.
Of course I'm right.
Okay, what about our amnesia?
Maybe my amnesia isn't total after all. You're familiar to me. Like we've met before. In another life.
Maybe we really do live here. Maybe we were together and the same thing happened to both of us.
Interesting.
An accident. Something.
Neither of us has bumps on our heads, if that's what you're getting at.
Have you been able to remember anything else? I mean, anything at all?
Well, I have had these recurring dreams. Just fragments, really. Strange, abstract images. Liquid, chrome.
Probably just a dream.
Well, have you thought about how to escape Harvest?
Liquid chrome. Okay, I think we've done all of these.
The wedding is only 3 weeks away.
Yeah, same options.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't...
What?
Pop,
I guess it's time to go.
come back and visit me soon, okay?
Alright, so is a good place to stop, because we actually got to finally meet her, and we did a whole 360 throughout the whole town. Basically talking with everybody, so we've seen almost all the locations in this town. You can go to sleep now, Blaze. That is a perfect time to stop. I actually probably should have stopped like 10 or 15 minutes ago, but I really wanted to knock that out. Ooh, today's word. Let me say this real quick. There we go. I want more. I wish I could stay up later. Thank you for the stream. Of course, Shane. Thank you so much for dropping in. Hope to see you for more of this game. This game is so ridiculous. Blaze falls asleep as soon as the stream is over. I wouldn't doubt it. I usually fall asleep that quick, although I like to shower and stuff before I go to bed, so it takes me a few extra minutes. Oh, and Shane, check this out. We got some new graphics for the channel. You're still here. We had this for our starting soon screen, and then we just do a little bit of a zoom for when we chat in between stuff. And I'm going to do another one. I haven't had time to do the graphics for it, but I'm going to modify all that for the credit scene. I want to do this with the arcade too, so like I'll be on the side, but the credits will be like running up the arcade, you know? That's classy. Well, thank you. Yeah, I had an artist do some pixel art. He did a really good job. I think I'm going to get some more work out of him. And remember, desktop audio, true. Otherwise, you guys can't hear what I hear. Do you hear what I hear? Okay, you guys should be able to hear it now. Okay. Oh, and John, sorry, did I miss something? Oh, do you think we could watch the video or at least try? Let me just, I always need to watch the video for a little bit first to see if I think we could watch it on stream. Some people, they'll play videos, not that I expect you to put something inappropriate, but they'll play a video and they're like, oh crap, did you guys see that? And then they get banned. Okay, so let me go to general. So the word is jaguar. I would say it as jaguar. Sarai, we're in the credits. You are too late. Sorry, dude. But if you want to see some truly messed up game, you need to watch the VOD. This game is ridiculous. It was almost 3 hours of cringe. It was fun. Let's see, Wrong John? Wrong John? What are you talking about? I'd say it as Jaguar. 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 I always say Jaguar. At least that's my American pronunciation, would be Jaguar. If I was to say how the English was, well, I mean, I've seen Austin Powers, but doesn't he also say Jaguar or Shaguar? I forget. But I've also heard Jaguar. Oh, yeah. Jaguar. Yeah, I've heard that. Jaguar. I see, most Americans say Jaguar, not Jaguar. Jaguar. Or Jaguar. I've heard Jaguar. Jaguar. What was the first one you said? Jaguar. I don't think I've heard Jaguar. Okay, let me hear what your guys sound like.
Jaguar. Jaguar.
Jaguar. Like Jag, you are. Kind of like that? Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Or I would say Jaguar. Or Jaguar. I think it's Jaguar. Right, not wire. Now I'm saying it because I read it. You Americans in your ways. You are too, Spider. Jaguar. No, Jaguar. You know, I've seen it so many times, I don't even know how I pronounce it anymore. I say Jaguar. Let's see, my dad pronounces it, funnily enough, as Jagular. Jagular? I called it Big Kitty. Let's see, you said Jaguar first. Okay, Jaguar. I thought that's how I would say it. Maybe I'm just totally wrong. And he owned a Jaguar car. Nice. Jaguar. Jaguar. I mean, Jaguar is how it's spelled. That's how it should be pronounced, I think. Jaguar. Jaguar? I don't even know anymore. It's not a word I ever used, but Jaguar looks correct. Sounds correct. Let's see, here in Canada, I've never heard it pronounced anything other than Jaguar. Jaguar. See, now he's all confused. I don't even know anymore. It's past my bedtime. Alright, so how are you guys still liking the game? I know we didn't get to play it too much on Saturday, but you got a good chunk of it now. You have a much better idea of kind of what's going on in the game, I guess. I mean, you don't really know what's happening, but you at least have met most of the town and have an idea of where everything is and what kind of game it really is, which is to be very inappropriate and offensive, which I'm excited to play more of this. Let's see, Jaguar is weird. Don't worry, me neither. I need to be tucked in. You need to be tucked in, Spider? Actually, Andy's probably already asleep. I gotta get to bed. So, let me see who's... Oh yeah, the video real quick. Let me check out this video. Coming to Fox, October 4th. Let me mute that real quick. Of course, I have an ad. Oh, it's all just like a wrestling promo, huh? I don't think we'll watch it on the stream necessarily, because it is just an advertisement that will probably get flagged, especially when I upload it to YouTube. But if you guys want to check it out, I don't know who here is a wrestling fan, but what is it exactly? WWE Anthem? Is this like a new event happening, or... So I think of like WrestleMania or Battle Royale or something like that. Is it kind of like one of those events? Let's see, PJ Salt, you just got salted. Salted. Oh, I saw the little thing up there. Wait, did I hear wrestling? Yes, alright. Janie actually just posted a trailer for some wrestling stuff in the Discord channel under videos. Oh, it's a promo for SmackDown's move to Fox. Where is SmackDown now currently? I mean, I'm way out of the wrestling game, but I'm not sure where what channel they even have wrestling on anymore. Oh, it is on Fox. Wait, how is it moving to Fox if it's already on Fox? I'm confused. Any AEW fans? Oh, that's one of the more independent wrestling associations, isn't it? When I was growing up, it was always WWF and WCW. And now WWF got its name taken from, what, the World Wildlife Foundation or something? For like animals? So now it's WWE. Oh, it used to be on USA. Okay. Let's see, how do you say big? Jake couldn't possibly rhyme with bag? Oh, we're still on Jaguar? 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 I'm actually so confused right now. Nate's like, I don't even know if I've ever said it right in my life. I could have sworn I used to say Jaguar, but that doesn't sound correct. Yeah, bag. I got a bag, like a jag. I mean, that's how I would say Jag if you wanted to say like the shortened version of the car name. Jag. Got a Jag. Alright, so let's see who is online real quick. Actually, before we go, we have to do a battle royale. So if anybody is in the chat, but has not chatted for a moment, say something right now, randomly. Doesn't matter what you say, because it's going to make your little guy appear. So I'm about to start a battle royale, and while I look for someone to raid, everybody's going to kill each other. It's random. You may win, you may get murdered, but if you do win, you get some points to the channel, some free tokens. But you only appear here if you're an active chatter, so you want to say something, anything, just so your little figure appears. So I'm going to start in 10 seconds. Let's see, whose line is it anyway? Whose pants are these? I love that show, Whose Line Is It Anyway? They actually do stuff live, like they go around and tour. I want to see that sometime. Alright, here we go. The Battle Royale is starting. So this little plane goes through and just drops everybody, and they all just start mauling each other. We have a lot of people in this one. Nice. That's like a full house. Kill all. So they just start running around and smacking each other as soon as they can. And you can look at the little health bars above them. The health bar is dependent on how long your name is, but you still get killed in the same amount of hits. It doesn't matter how long the health bar looks. Oh man, they're dropping like flies. I see Nate still in there. Robocadia's doing pretty good. Oh, that'd be sad if Robocadia wins. You guys gotta kill Robocadia. Sarai still alive? Janie? Oh, there goes Nate. Can't let Robocadia win. That's just not right. Janie's still good. Robocadia and Sarai. I think Sarai might be winning. He's in the lead. He must have a sub. Oh man, it's like neck and neck with you two. I think Sarai might be a little bit in the lead, but it's hard to tell. Sometimes they get a hit off and they don't actually take any damage, so it could still go either way. Fairweather, I'm out. Aw. Boom! Nice, Sarai. Good job. So you get some free tokens to the channel. And actually, usually he had to go to bed earlier, but it's usually Pepper that wins. Poor Janie. I got stabbed in the back. Usually, Pepper's the one that wins these. I think he's won 2 or 3 already, so that was awesome. Good to get a new winner. 10 tokens. So that's like the equivalent of watching the channel for like 100 minutes. That's actually pretty significant. Okay, so who's online right now? Oh, do you guys want more spoopy games? We actually haven't rated him in a little while, but Jake on a Quest is currently playing Silent Hill. I think he's playing Silent Hill. His stream says Silent Hill Part 4, but I'm thinking it's Part 4 of his stream. I don't think he's playing Silent Hill 4. Either way, I like Silent Hill 1 and 4. Let's see, we need to get some Discord voice chat debates on this shit. There you go. Yeah, if you guys want to talk it out, jump in the Discord chat and you can actually enunciate some of these words. Let's see, thank you for the stream, John Katie, and thanks for hanging out, fam. Until next time, bye, Fairweather. Thank you so much for hanging out. Always a pleasure to see you. So, yeah, it's been a while since we've gotten to throw Jake any love. Let's drop in there. Plus, Silent Hill is just one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I freaking love Silent Hill. And it's Part 4 of the stream. That's what I was thinking. I think Silent Hill might be my favorite horror game of all time. I mean, not necessarily the first one, but just the series in general, you know? I think the second one is my favorite Silent Hill game. Let's see, you must know how to say bag, and it doesn't rhyme with plague. Vague. Vague might be... I don't think that's a Canadian thing, but I could almost see certain dialects kind of saying it like vague. Let's see. Gotta hop in voice chat because this shit rhymes. Dude, it's so funny. I love that you guys are having this like in-depth conversation. Alright guys, well, once again, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out. I can't wait to play more of this game. I want to say thank you to Spider Monkey for the biddy. Let's see, Met Marius, thank you so much for the raid and the host. Multiple times. MTL Price, I'm not sure. I'm just going to say Price. Price, thank you so much for the host. And Anonymous, whoever's anonymous out there, thank you for gifting Coffee a subscription. That was very nice of you. And Tajay, of course, thank you for the huge cheer earlier. You are awesome. So until next time, guys, keep debating that bag. Have a fantastic night, and I will see you in 2 days. Later, everybody. Bye.